They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way up, way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting all black like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else, I had to set them straight, yeah. I had to ball, so I had to renovate, I know. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna put me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't come it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't slow it down. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I see the flashing lights. Make sure the fashion right, yeah. I'm in my bag tonight, yeah. Ooh, I might just pull up a foreign. Watch out, the engine is roaring. It's too loud, you can ignore it. Yeah, yeah. This that highlight for the few. You get to have it all, no need to choose. First, let me demonstrate how you can rise to the top. Yeah, I had to elevate, 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 elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate.
The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment.
Salute Ray Davis. Are we coming in clear?
Absolutely. You hear me well? You hear me well?
Yeah, for sure, family, for sure. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Guys, remember, hit the likes when you're on your way in here. Salute to Geraldo Busamet. He seems like no, I seen him here last week, I think. Salute to RC in the building. Ross Klotz, salute. Yeah, man. Ray Charlo is stripped of his title. Bum. Yeah. He has nothing left, right? He has nothing left. We're gonna talk about all that tonight, right?
The Charlos are stripped.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's about time for Charlo. He's talking about Jamal or Jamel? Jamal, right?
He's talking about both of them.
Well, Jamel been stripped, right? He pretty much lost all the belts already.
Jamal's official as of what, a month ago?
Right. So, I mean, you know, listen, man.
I know what he's saying, though. I know what he's saying.
We don't get surprised at these things anymore, right? Like at this point.
No. I think what he's trying to say is how they gave Usyk. He probably talked about how they let Usyk have the extension of the belt.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I smell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, look.
DUI. They took. Oh, well, that too. Never mind. I assume.
I'm about to say that Usyk's a little different than Jamel and Jamal. And plus, it was a WBO situation with Jamel, right? This is more with Jamal. It's going to be the WBC and whatever other belt he had. If he had another one, I don't know if he had two of them or not.
Jamal had one. Jamel had all four.
Right. Jamel. So and Usyk's got the IBF situation, right?
But
yeah, we can talk about. Huh?
They cleared that up.
What?
He's not getting stripped.
Who's not getting stripped?
They're gonna let him keep it for the rematch.
You talking about Usyk?
Yeah, and then he gets
right. They're letting him keep it. I'm saying no, it was the IBF who was threatening to strip him, and he did.
But remember, the IBF was the first one to take the belt from Bud, and I think if I'm not mistaken, they were the first or second to take the belt from Jamel.
No doubt, no doubt. Salute Jr. Spock in the building. Salute.
But they talk about stripping. Canelo too.
Yeah. Canelo's definitely in the conversation. I mean, finally, somebody talking about stripping something from that man. I mean, that dude right there. I don't feel sorry for him.
I don't want to see him stripping, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, taking something from him. You know what I'm saying? Always giving him something.
I don't want to see nobody taking nothing from him either.
Listen, damn it. I'm going to start putting these pauses.
Pause.
Pre-pause. Delivering these pauses so I can get these messages out. No, that's definitely JR. They definitely let them keep it. But I think that's only fair. You know what I'm saying? Let them hold on to that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let Daniel Dubois and Philip Urgovich, get that mandatory spot, get that interim title. That's definitely a good thing. And, Chestnut Checkers out here, right? Chestnut Checkers.
Sure
As you see the way that Turki and Terrence Crawford are maneuvering right now through the game and how they're making power plays. You know what I mean? Turki's definitely sending a message out there. And look, Terrence Crawford's looking like he got a lot of people who were saying that he was outside in the cold, that he had no choices. He was going to have to, make a deal with the PBC. And, as the days are going by and weeks are going by and these things are coming together, it's just looking more and more so like Terrence is not as stupid as everybody thinks he is.
Yeah, maybe. I see that. Right? I see that glowing thing next to your head there, pointing it out.
Oh, yeah. Shout out. Yeah.
Dope. That's dope. Shout out to Clay for the new Claymore Rain since 1977 official logo in the backdrop.
You've been in it. Yo, Kamal Oz in the.
What's up, Kamal?
Salute.
Clinelho. You love that word, Clinelho.
Had already been stripped as I predicted a long time ago. Salute, you did. Second time the IBF has stripped Clinelho. William Sculls, a slick, undefeated Cuban with an extensive amateur background. We can talk about it. We're going to talk about the IBF Duck. He got the names. Yo, Kamal got the names. He got the names, right? Not only does he have the names, he knows how to spell them. That's more important. Yeah, more important than having the names is knowing how to spell the names. Nobody ever come at Kamal and say, spell it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to definitely make you look stupid. Crawford and Canelo Alvaro twice. You know what I mean? Ducked him. No doubt. It's just looking good out here. Triple G isn't a bum, but his resume is, no doubt. Fundora getting stripped too. Yeah, Fundora, listen, we're going to talk about it all. I mean, really, like I said, Terrence, he's not looking like a dumbass as everybody would like to paint him to be. He's making moves. Turkey's making moves. We got a lot of people who are upset with the trajectory and what's happening, power plays being made, money runs. It looks like Mauricio Sulaiman likes money, and he looks like he might be interested in getting in the Turki Alalshikh business. He wants that WBC belt in these conversations. He doesn't want to be stuck out in the cold, right? 3%. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that 3% one way or another. And salute, Turkey's Jonathan. Out here offering opportunities. Yeah, Jonathan 97, man. Salute, brother. Salute. Salute to my guy, Daryl Peters. Mauricio Sulaiman lied about ordering Benavidez and Clinelho. Gilberto Mendoza was never ordered. Canelo and Morel. When Morel moves up, they order Berlanga and Canelo. Yeah, you know what I mean? I love it. PBC, as Rusty says, I love it. PBC been holding up boxing for years. Listen, man, powerful. Salute, Mr. Jannard Hill.
Salute.
What happened the other day? Respect, Mr. Jannard Hill. I don't remember. So if it was bad, it couldn't have been that bad because I don't really remember all the way.
Could have been something in the comments. First,
probably
one of the other videos.
Probably something in the comments. Probably something
good.
In the comments.
It's all good. Listen, man, we'll remember why because grown men over here, man. We don't hold on to grudges.
And plus, opinions is that's what they are, bro. You know what I mean? If you disrespecting me and playing with my face, you know what I'm saying? It's different. But yo, man, can't never get into it over no opinions over here. That's for sure. Shout out to the coach. Shout out to Talk to Me in the building. You know what I mean? JJ, salute to JJ in the building. Salute. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, making power moves, man. So let's get it out. Let's get the facts out the way, right? What's going on here? Let's get the facts. So we're speaking about the facts, right? So Terrence Crawford made a move, right, to go and find himself an opportunity for himself, and it looks like him and Turki Alalshikh were in conversations for a minute. When you really look at it from the outside looking, it looks like they've been kind of talking. You know what I'm saying? Well before this thing came together. And Turki seems to be like almost like a Terrence Crawford benefactor a little bit, right? Like he's kind of like got his back right now into getting some of the biggest fights put together. Now we know Turki was trying to get Canelo and Terrence put together, and Canelo doesn't seem like he's being very receptive to it. But what was able to happen was he was able to go ahead and coordinate a fight between Terrence and Ismail Madrimov, who is the WBA junior middleweight or super welterweight champion of the world, and put Terrence in a position to get at that WBA title, but also Terrence making a chess move by activating a mandatory on the WBO to put himself in line to supposedly fight the winner between Tim Tszyu and at the time Keith Thurman, which ended up being Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu. Power moves are made, right? Because in the background, while that's happening, and we're all kind of like wondering what's going to happen between him and Errol Spence, it looks like the PBC had plans for Errol Spence to also put himself in line to get a shot at that WBO title, or at least the winner between Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. Everybody, it looked weird from the outside looking in. Honestly, to be honest with you, it looked like Terrence Crawford was kind of getting played again, right? It looked like he was getting his legs cut from under him, trying to get an opportunity. Again, the PBC putting him out in the cold, letting him know if you're not under the umbrella, you're going to get wet, and just kind of trying to motivate him to make the right decision, right? Give him a deal he can't refuse. And Terrence Crawford, being stubborn as he is, right, said, I don't care about none of that. I got other things I'm working on. And man, did he ever have things he's working on. Because not only did he get his mandatory with the WBO, and the WBO had his back, obviously, in that conversation, but also put him in position to become a unified champion by getting that WBA belt if he's able to beat Ismail Madrimov and becoming an interim WBO title. But let's sweeten the pot. Look, why not sweeten the pot, right? It's one thing to show the world that I don't need you, but it's another thing to show the world that not only do I not need you, but I can also get in the conversations that you don't think I can get into, right? I can put myself in the conversations that you don't think I'm supposed to be into because you think you control the narrative, right? And what's the narrative? The narrative is if you want to get some business over here with the PBC fighters, you're going to have to sign contracts with the PBC, jump into 2-3 fight deals. PBC's not stupid. They're not going to give you a 1-fight deal and allow you to win a belt and walk away with that belt and have that leverage. Terrence Crawford, once again, him and Turki Alalshikh put their heads together. Mauricio Sulaiman, who's a businessman first, because we've seen the business he's done with Canelo Alvarez, right? We've seen how Canelo's been able to hold that WBC belt no matter what, under all circumstances. No matter what, Canelo Alvarez has been able to hold that belt, and we know why. Because that 3% is juicy when you're getting 3% of 50 million, 35 million, 40 million. We're not going to let that go. Well, Mauricio Sulaiman, being true to his nature, being a businessman, went ahead and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make the winner between Ismail Madrimov and Terrence Crawford. We're going to make this a title eliminator fight right here for the WBC title. And the winner of this fight is going to become the mandatory for the WBC belt. So the winner of this fight is going to be the next in line to fight the winner between Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence, as we know, a fight that's getting put together for October. So now Terrence Crawford's found a way. Keep in mind, of course, he still needs to beat the guy who's in front of him, right? We don't want to look past the guy who's in front of him. He still needs to beat him. But he has a lane now to not only undisputed, right, or at least becoming a line share unified champion of that division, but also we as fans get an opportunity to potentially see this rematch between him and Errol Spence without him signing to the PBC. What say you, Ray? Did I get it pretty accurate?
Yeah. Listen. Sometimes dirty tricks can be brushed under the rug as long as they're coming from the other direction with the wind, right? So That's exactly what happened. Somebody tried to pull the rug from underneath Terrence. Unfortunately, PBC, Earl Spence, whoever it was, Leonard liability, however you want to say it. They tried to pull that rug out, and it backfired in a way because no matter what, it's going to go down that line. And the reason why I say that is because even if let's just say Earl wins, and he doesn't take that fight, because unifications are not mandatory. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not mandatory. let's say it does not happen. Here's what the kicker is. You can actually go for the other belts, or you got a long list of strong fighters from 1 through 5 in your section. Actually, I think in the WBC it's like 8. The first 8 fighters are tough for Earl. So if he has to defend against any of those 8 fighters, they're all tough fights. Bud's got like 5. Bud's got 5. So if you just stay WBO, or it's 5. WBA is not that strong. It's like 3 or 4 guys. And then the IBF is like really the weakest of the bunch with the champions, because the first 2 are vacant. 1 and 2, and then it goes into the line share of who they are. So it's a potential backfire, nonetheless. So you're going to take which is the way to go. You might as well go for the unification and try to grab the belt at all risk, instead of fighting some of these hungry boxers that are trying to get up there that you just skipped the line on to get these title shots. So
no doubt. Salute Andrew Charles in the building.
Salute.
Yeah, Chris, we're not there yet. That being said, also, Chris, thanks for bringing that up about the super chat. We're almost there, man, guys. We're almost at the 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate the support we've been getting up to this point to get to that point. We're doing a pretty big giveaway once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, courtesy of Charles Edward Cheese. I haven't seen Charles Edward Cheese in a minute. I hope everything's okay with him. I was on Blue Blood a little bit earlier, and he was mentioning he didn't see him as well for a minute. I guess maybe he's been over there at Showbiz possibly, but I hope everything is well over there with him. But yeah, man, we're almost there, man. We're almost there, man. And I really appreciate you guys for helping us get there. And Chris will have the super chat menu hopefully sooner rather than later. We're like 60 subscribers away from that mark, and we'll see what it looks like. Let me see. Mr. Big Play said off topic, but can you guys please speak on Bob Arum snowing out last Saturday? If Bill did it, would it still be in the news? I'm just saying. Yeah, Bob went off, huh? Bob is getting to that age, getting there. Let me say that correctly. Bob is at that age, past that age, and he just like, listen, I'm gonna communicate how I'm feeling. I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? I understood where Bob was coming from, but I don't think Josh Taylor won that fight, right? But I do feel like those scorecards was crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought it was a way closer fight than what those scorecards said.
So why he do that when his boy Tio won against Jermaine Ortiz?
Well, you know why he didn't do that.
That's my point. So don't be one sided now, Bob. We were screaming, "Whoa!"
right. Now Bob had to be motivated. He had to be motivated to speak to that. You know what I mean? Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Claymore Ray Davis, we rock with y'all for sure. RC man, salute, brother.
Peace, RC.
Salute.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Man.
Right, I mean, that was right on,
for sure. Right on, brother. Proud of the people. Yeah, man. But Bob was doing his thing, man. I don't think nothing one way or the other. He's well within his right because he's old. First of all, old people just kind of get that pass with me where they just, they're gonna say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and secondly, at the end of the day, it's not the first time something like that's happened. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the speech, but as far as those scorecards, right? Judges just moving in a way that makes no sense. When you look at the scorecard, you're like, where did they get these points from? What fight were they looking at? It happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? What does it say? JR Spock says PBC don't want that rematch because they don't want Bud to be the A side. I don't think they feel. I'm being honest with you, Mr. Big Play Bray. I don't think that the PBC felt like there was a high enough demand for the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight. I feel like they didn't want to throw money behind it. Right. You know what I mean? They're, especially considering the fact that there is, rumor is that their budget is very limited, that they have to focus their resources in the right direction, right? Be able to pay Gervonta, be able to put Canelo on, and making that fight and the money that these fighters are probably looking to make in that fight. It doesn't seem like they were willing to take that chance to, maybe lose out. You know what I'm saying? On paying millions of dollars for a fight that it seemed like the fan base wasn't so excited about.
I agree and disagree because I'm going to say we're only in the fourth fight of the year, right? Down in July, in July, right? Or June. Third fight. Is that the third fight, the 10th fight?
Oh, June's going to be the second fight. No. Their first fight was March 30th. What fight did they have in between that?
Right? And then they had Canelo. I know Canelo he was on both.
Yeah, Canelo was like a DAZN PBC collaboration.
The collab.
But
right?
we can say that. We can say that. Okay, PBC.
All right, so then you had their right. And now you're looking at it as this is what their third fight. That's crazy. You mean to tell me they don't have enough money? Because they got
they don't. They can.
Saying, right, but they got a 12-fight budget, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? They got a 12-fight budget, but yet they only had 3 fights going on. We're halfway through the year, and they didn't have enough money to do that fight. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they did that at the top of the year, Clay, also, and just ran off with the Amazon deal. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said.
Okay, I see what you're saying, Spock. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, just to kind of close that part out, just to say, there's money there, I'm sure. I don't like going with the narrative that they're broke. That narrative, I don't like to do that. But I'm gonna say that they've become way more ROI conscious with their spending. You know, they become very return on investment conscious when they're spending that money, and it just seems like they were kind of reluctant to put money behind that fight for whatever reason, and it looked like that's why the fight didn't happen. But I understand what you're saying, J.R. Spock, as far as the sanctioning bodies. Are they paying money? Listen, I think if you put it in perspective, J.R. Spock, being that the sanctioned bodies look to make money on the percentages that they're charging these fighters to represent their belts, there's always a vested interest. Just right there alone, you're kind of paying the promoters off a little bit, right? Like it's almost, you can put into perspective that Canelo Alvarez is paying off the sanctioning bodies to stay off his back, right? How's he paying them off? He's not giving them money per se, like under the table, but what he brings to the table as far as revenue kind of, you know what I'm saying, pays them off a little bit and gives them the vested interest to not be so strict with him on his mandatories and who he's fighting and when he fights and how he's picking his fights. So when you look at Turki Alalshikh, you don't say Turki Alalshikh without considering money, right? You're not going to say Turki Alalshikh's name without considering money. And when you got a fighter like Terrence Crawford, who's finally got the financial backing now to become a high, you know, a fighter who's going to get paid a lot of money and bring a lot of money with the money that's going to get put into the promotions for him. In a way, Turki Alalshikh's spending, I think it's reasonable to argue, has attracted a person like Mauricio Sulaiman's attention to understand, like, yo, this dude's putting on the biggest cards. Terrence Crawford is going to be a great champion. You know, him having the belt's going to be hard to take it off of him. Only the biggest fighters are going to get put. Turkey's only looking to line him up against the biggest fighters. In that sense, yes, the promoters are kind of, the sanctioning bodies are kind of being paid off a little bit, right?
Yep.
What do you think, Ray?
I kind of agree with that. I mean, we just look at just the percentages based on what the revenue is coming in, or return on investment, as you want to say, or what the fighter's making. Mm-hmm. Fighters are going to be making upwards near a minimum of $10 million, like Terrence Crawford. We already know what Canelo's making, so we can up the ladder on that. Tank or all these guys that they would love for Tank to get the WBC. I promise you. Right. He got the WBC. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Shakur's not bringing in the money that Tank will be.
No way.
No disrespect to Shakur or any other fighter. I'm just saying it's just that's what they look at. They look at who's bringing this money in. And Earl Spence is another guy that brings a lot of fans to the sport too. So even him, that's why he got that number one spot in the WBC right now. Right. They're like, look, loss or not, this guy is like, he's a breadwinner. Like, he's going to get 600 whatever pay-per-views.
600,000, 500,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So that money he's going to get is going to come in at what? $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a fight. I mean, $1 million, I'm sorry, a fight. And they're going to get 3% of that? Bro, they'll take that in a heartbeat. And that goes with all the boxers in the game right now, and that's how Mauricio moves. And I've been watching that. Even the dude in the WBC, was it Gilliman or whatever? He does the same thing. You know what I mean? So they know where the money they know where the money goes. You know what I mean? And they know who to go after and who to support and who's going to bring in the paychecks. So 3% is a lot when you're making a lot of millions. Trust me.
Yeah. So money is always moving the needle when it comes to these sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's always moving the needle. So when Turki Alalshikh brings in the kind of money that he's bringing to the table without even considering pay-per-view sales, without even considering, you know what I'm saying, the sellability of fight, just off the strength of the money he's willing to put behind the fight, puts the PBC in position. Puts the WBC and all the other sanctioning bodies as well in position to make a lot of money if they can get their belts in with fighters that are affiliated with Turki Alalshikh.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me see. Champ Raw salute. Well, let me Fantasy boxing salute to Champ Raw. So I already said Andrew Charles. And okay, no doubt. Go ahead, Ray. You was about to say something.
No, yeah, I was gonna say if you even think about it, the unification of heavyweight. When was the last time we had a unification at heavyweight? You know what I mean? So 100%. Him doing that, basically bringing the WBC to the wheelhouse to make the fight happen, is a big deal. So
right.
he's willing to make these moves happen, man. So let's keep
no doubt. Yo, salute Chip Nasworthy in the building. So Turkey's starting to move the needle and have an effect on this game. You know what I mean? Whereas last year this time people were doubting Turkey's ability to move the needle because he was staying in Riyadh, and it seemed like he was only interested in fights with heavyweights in Riyadh, and people weren't as worried about him. Me personally, I've always kind of given a heads up on what Turkey's influence is going to be, especially when you combine that with the idea that Showtime was going out of business and that the PBC was going to be looking for new partners out there. It seemed like there was an opportunity or space for Turki Alalshikh to make a power move while that transitioning was happening, while PBC is getting their legs back under them, while they're trying to figure out how to be who they were before the Showtime, before Paramount bought out Showtime and got rid of boxing. It seemed like the ideal time for Turkey to make a power move, and it seems like he's taking advantage of it. Putting a card together with August 3rd, right there in Los Angeles, and also trying to come up with future cards. I'm hearing rumors of other things that he's trying to do in state, right? Even the Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight was something he was looking to do in state. He said that he was looking to do that in either Vegas or New York or California, one of the bigger cities. So Turkey's starting to make a move, and obviously Mauricio Sulaiman, and I'm sure, by the way, the other sanctioning bodies are thinking about the same damn thing. You can't be missing it. You can't miss this wave that's coming in with all this money that Turkey's willing to put behind fighters who don't have, fighters outside of Tank, fighters outside of Canelo, fighters outside of, what I'm saying, of these fighters. So I think it makes complete sense that that you're going to see, and I think you're going to start seeing a lot more movement. Now you got people who are fans of the PBC and fans of, Errol Spence or Tank Davis or Canelo Alvarez, they're not too excited about what they're looking at, right? They're not that excited. They feel like it's manipulation happening. They're trying to get on the belts. Let me ask you, Ray, is it me or is this a new thing that promotional companies are trying to take control of belts and trying to take control of like sanction? Like, is this new? Is like Turkey doing some kind of underhanded new thing that he's like? How do you feel about how Turkey's moving? Like, is it normal? Is it not normal? Is it wrong? Is it right?
So
how do you feel about it?
Here's what I think. First of all, I don't think it's Turkey that's actually making the moves for the belts. I think he's just trying to put the best fights together, and it just so happens to be champions. As far as the promoter companies trying to capture all the belts, they all do. Only way you can get more clients or more boxers into your stable. You know what I mean? By collecting the belts and showing them that you're a champion. Basically, what I'm saying is, just to throw this out there, let's use a movie reference. Cobra Kai did what? They won championships. Everybody wanted to go to Cobra Kai, right? Daniel LaRusso won the championship, but then everybody wants to go Miyagi-Do karate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a stable of, you know what I mean? You can still do that by winning championships. You know what I mean? But you can also just be the elite fighter. Being a big name brings fights. We know that, right? We know that being a big money fight can still bring you fights and opportunities for championships. I think the championship they're trying to bring championships back to the forefront over money, or combination of championships and money at the same time, which I would like to see that. So, I mean, big shout out to Turkey for doing that, man. I think he's making the right moves. He's working with the right people. It seems like everyone seems to be buying in. I think even Oscar, who he told him, hey, see you later. See we not there. See you square. Now he over there. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys are making moves. All of them. You got to get that dude shout outs. Like, he's doing the right thing for boxing.
Yeah, man, his presence was going to do what I mean. I always said, and I thought that his presence was going to do what it's doing, which was it was going to move all the powers that be in boxing. It was going to give them vested interest to move along with the wave because this is business. This is money in, money out. This isn't. It's not really complicated, right? And when you got somebody like Turki Alalshikh coming to the table with the type of financial backing that he has, he's gonna move the needle, or at a minimum, if he doesn't move the needle, he's gonna force the other promotional companies to come together and force them to move the needle, right? But his presence, one way or the other, is going to affect the whole entire algorithm, and it's finally starting to kick in. Mr. Jannard Hill said, Clay, who do you think will grab that vacant belt at 168? And Billy, Caleb, Plant, Boo Boo, or Munguia, or possibly even Bud? At 168. Yeah, I think that's interesting. If the IBF is going to stand on their integrity and they're going to take that IBF belt away from him, I think it's gonna just getting that belt is going to make it an interesting division again. I think everybody you mentioned on that list has a potential, except for Boo Boo. I don't know if Boo Boo's really. I don't know if I'm really go with Boo Boo. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not sold on Boo Boo at 168. I ain't gonna lie to you. But and Billy, Caleb Plant. Jaime Munguia. I don't know if Bud would put his name in that conversation. I think Bud was looking to exclusively fight Canelo Alvarez because he saw some opportunity in there for him, even though Canelo's a bigger fighter. He did, as far as height, arm reach, those type of things, they did have some, it made sense for him. I don't think he really wants to get up there and get into it with an M. Billy or get into it with a Jaime Munguia or, God forbid, David Benavidez comes back or David Morrell comes back in the division. I don't think he's going to be interested in doing any of that. But I think Caleb Plant, Christian M. Billy, I think viable candidates, definitely Jaime Munguia. I'll be honest with you. I think outside of Canelo, Jaime Munguia is probably like the number 2 or number 3 guy, probably the number 2 guy in the 168 division. Who's over him?
Right now in IBF, he's at number 8. But
no, I mean
who's over him?
I'm talking about as far as like the best fighter in the division.
I still give Caleb Plant a little bit.
Okay.
I think you know what I mean. But I'm going to go Christian and Billy, maybe Caleb Plant, maybe Jaime Munguia, and then I'm going to probably move into the. It's a lot of European guys in there too that you can give a praise to. You know what I mean? So you got like. I don't know who William Skull is. He's number 1 in IBF. I have no idea. But Edgar Berlanga, even him in the top 10. Mm-hmm. And you even have Pacheco, Diego Pacheco. That's another fighter that's on the radar coming up. So you have a lot of guys there. That Zach Parker's pretty decent. Yeah, it's hard. But I don't think again, I'm just looking at the list right now and I'm like, man, it's Petro Ivanov. It's a lot of fighters. I just think that, but if you're looking at the total rankings, I think you would go those 3, maybe a Mark Jeffries or Diego Pacheco. Those guys would be like round out your top 10 in that division.
Okay. So J.R. Spock said it's already been announced that it's going to be William Skull and Vladimir Shishkin for that fight. So, okay. So, I mean, let's make the division interesting. I support the IBF, honestly, with the way that they've been moving. I mean, even like when they did that with Terrence, although I did feel like, damn, man, Terrence, he got a rematch clause, but at the end of the day, I understood, and I also understood that this doesn't take away from what he's done. And knowing that Terrence had plans on moving out of that division anyway, it didn't really, it made sense. Keep the division alive, keep it going. I felt like Terrence probably should have vacated some of those belts, but when you look at what Terrence did as far as activating that mandatory, you know what I'm saying, and getting that opportunity at the junior middleweight division, I kind of understood why he was holding on to the belts. He was about to say something. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah. I actually like what he said about the 1-2 fighting for the belt. But I think in Billy being number 3 might have leapfrog one of these dudes to take that shot, because I'm going to tell you what, a 40-second knockout does a lot for you. You know what I mean? Especially when you already have an interim in another division. You're not a title holder. You're just an interim. That might propel him to be a champion, to force Canelo one to fight for undisputed again in the division, or maybe somebody else come up for him. I'm just saying that could happen. And Billy might be 100%. That guy, actually.
I definitely could see that. A lot of opportunity. That's the great thing about when the belts are freed up, or when you have an active champion, right? Either one of those scenarios make for great fights to happen. It gives other fighters opportunities to step up and have new stars, man. I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. So we got Terrence Crawford making his moves, putting himself in position. Errol Spence right now and Sebastian Fundora. Now I'm pretty sure you feel like Errol should win that fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you feel like Errol should win that fight.
I'm an Errol fan. I don't know, man.
Yeah, okay. So
I think he can. I think he can. I mean, if I'm leaning like, if we're talking like percentages wise, I think it's like at least a 68% chance he wins that fight.
Right. I think it's over 50. I'll say that for sure.
Right.
I think there's some I think it's a RC said it's a tall task. Shout out RC. Yeah, man. Listen, man. We got some variables that we have to take into consider, some intangibles, right? Number one, we all know that Errol Spence is not with Derek James anymore, of course, and that we don't know who he's. I'm hearing rumors of Ronnie Shields, of Cunningham. I'm hearing all kind of rumors, but they're rumors, right? We don't know who he's working with, and no matter who he's working with, I always feel like when I've talked to trainers, they've always said that a trainer would ideally love to, when they get a new fighter, to give him some tune-up fights, right? They want to melt with the fighter. They want to work with the fighter, do a whole training camp with them. Then they want to see that fighter implement all the things that they were teaching them and just see if there's a connection there. I remember when Robert Garcia kind of spoke about the issues he had with, coaching or training Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? And going into directly into a fight with Usyk. And he was like, man, if I had it my way, I wouldn't just go into a fight with Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I want me and Anthony to kind of figure each other out and kind of have that relationship, get that working relationship. And so we can prepare the right way so we can go in that fight confidently against an Usyk. But, Usyk's on the table. It's a huge fight. I know what the job is, what I'm hired for. He wants to get at Usyk, so let's do it. But ideally, he didn't want that to happen, right? Ideally, he wanted the opportunity to get that tune-up fight. And we know how Errol feels about tune-up fights. He don't believe in them. Right. So, whoever gets in a position to go in there with Errol, we have to take into consideration that it's going to be a new relationship as far as trainer and fighter is concerned. Secondly, we should also take into consideration that if he's going to make a comeback fight, and although he doesn't like the word tune-up, I think Sebastian Fundora, to say the least, is an awkward fighter to get prepared for. A 6'5" fighter, 83-inch, 84-inch arm. You know what I'm saying? Arms. Granted, he doesn't. In his last fight, he did stay behind that jab. He was using some of his attributes, but he was still getting baited into mid-range situations that was getting him clocked. Got his nose broken. I mean, he was getting outside of that. A lot of people feel like if he didn't put that gash on top of Tim Tszю's head, that he probably wouldn't have won that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, him finding success in those moments that he was taking advantage of his length, of his height, he seemed to be very optimistic about jumping more into that. Like, I want to tap more into that. I like the way that felt. I like the advantage I feel like I had. So I'm assuming when he gets into a fight with somebody like Errol Spence, who is probably a harder puncher than Tim Tszyu, quite possibly a harder puncher than Tim Tszyu, because this is also another factor in that Errol Spence is coming up to 154. This is his first fight at 154. You know what I mean? He's been off for going on a year, and it will be over a year when they actually meet up in the ring in October. He's had surgery on his eye. Has he been training? Has he been staying in top shape? Like when you look at a Gervonta Tank Davis, who clearly was staying in shape during the whole time when he was dealing with what he was dealing with. He looks great. He was looking great. Every time we saw him, it was like, damn, Gervonta's in his bag. I don't know if was Errol doing that. When I saw Errol step into that ring with Sebastian Fundora, he would look a little chunky to me. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was living the good life. You know what I'm saying? Was he living a boxer's lifestyle? Was he not drinking? Was he working out? Was he making sure he gets his sleep? What was he doing? He wasn't working with Derek James. I can tell you that, right? He wasn't working with Derek James. So all these little areas that we don't know how these boxers are going to check on that evening just make it, close to 50-50 fight because of that. Very close to a 55. I still put Errol just off of his resume and who I've known him to be. But after a beating like what he took from Terrence Crawford, I don't think it's far-fetched that this could be a different guy than before that fight. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you one key point that you missed.
Okay.
Earl Spence is a southpaw, fighting a southpaw. I think that's very disruptive for because if he let an orthodox fighter get in so easily and get that hook off on the chin and in the face like Tim Tszyu did, imagine what happens when you're fighting somebody that's on your same side as you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's basically like an orthodox fighter. It's you know what I mean? It becomes a standstill and the better man wins.
Right.
I think that could be challenging for that jab with Earl, him being a southpaw to southpaw. It won't be the same. He had to address that. And we'll see how that works out. But, time will tell. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. I think Errol, outside of, I think outside of those things I was saying, he looks like he's almost to a degree tailor-made to take out a Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? He loves to attack that body, right? And he got this long dude in front of him with all that body there. You know what I mean? And he doesn't even have the disadvantage of, having that southpaw, throwing that right hand out there and taking advantage of him. He actually, lines right up with him. It becomes a fair fight, 50-50 fight as far as, no advantages. And if Errol's able to get in there against a Sebastian Fundora, who seems, in my opinion, to like mid-range fighting, he's always liked it, but he has to fight differently when he's fighting against these fighters. You know what I'm saying? He has to fight. Even when he fought Erickson Lubin, he was getting lit up in that fight. You know what I mean? He won the fight, but he was getting lit up. And obviously we saw him finally get put to sleep by Brian Mendoza. So yes, he's there to take that loss against Errol Spence. But Errol Spence we just don't know who he is right now. I mean, we can have faith in who we know him to be, right? We can have faith in who we know him to be, but after a beating like that, and I say the same thing for Devin. I want to see how Devin comes back and who he is after the beating he took from Ryan Garcia. It's the same thing. When you take a beating like that, I wonder how you're going to come back, and it makes a big difference. And Errol just hasn't checked those boxes for us yet. We haven't seen him do it yet. Let's see what we got here in the chat. No disrespect to EJ, but I think he's looking for that last big payday because he said this might be his last fight. In his mind and heart, is his mind and heart really in this? 100%, Mr. Big Play. That mental fortitude. I think that's fair to ask. He did put on Twitter that this could be his last fight. I told you already, Ray, outside of being online, that I thought that ideally they were looking to fight Tim Tszyu. I believe they thought Tim Tszyu was going to win that fight. They were looking to fight Tim Tszyu. Even when Adam Leibowitz, whatever his name is, the manager of Sebastian Fundora, said that he was going to honor the rematch between Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. I didn't see I almost feel like, because that night, Leibowitz was like for sure that the fight that he was trying to put together was Sebastian Fundora with Errol Spence in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, right? Then all of a sudden, the next day, he's like, you know what? I had a change of heart. I remember talking to Tim Tszyu. I promised him a rematch. I'm gonna give him the rematch, right? It just felt like I told you that. You remember what I said to him? I'm like, they told Tim Tszyu to go fucking finish his breakfast. They're like, get back up in there, dog, and go beat that dude so we can line up this fight between you and Errol. We ain't trying to fight no Sebastian Fundora right now. That dude was towering over Errol Spence. Even when they stood in front of each other in the ring at the end of that fight, it was just like, cheese!
Salute. There he is. Salute. Truth. Salute.
Just ask about you. We'll see you in a minute.
Fly frequency, truth. Big ups in the house. Cheese, always salute.
Salute. Yeah. When you saw them standing in front of each other, it was just awkward. I don't care. For me, it was. It was just like, this is going to be an awkward fight between these two dudes. You know what I mean? And when you saw Tim Tszyu get almost once again Turki Alalshikh kind of affecting the algorithm again, you got to bring up Turki, because what did he do? He pulled Tim Tszyu out of that situation, lined him up with Virgil Ortiz to co-main event this card with Terrence Crawford. So, kind of hurt that rematch, kind of threw that rematch to the side. Tim Tszyu's team understanding, like, hold on, bro, they're going to take that WBO title off of him. And the big fight would be against Terrence. Let me get through Virgil Ortiz, and Tim Tszyu being who he is, not scared of competition, doesn't care nothing about Virgil Ortiz's record and what he brings to the table. He's just ready to fight. He loses nothing. And he gets to get into conversations and gets into dealings with Turki Alalshikh and get Turki Alalshikh money. I think it was an easy choice for him to make. And being that he's not a PBC fighter per se, that they just used the PBC to facilitate his fights in the States, it was easy to make. You know what I mean? And PBC also, I wonder if we'll ever find out what motivated the PBC to finally open up communication with Turki Alalshikh and do business with him, to have all those fighters that they have on that card. I don't know what motivated it, but look, we are where we are right now. And where we are right now is Errol Spence, Sebastian Fundora for October. They're trying to get Dallas Cowboys Stadium. We've got Terrence Crawford and Ismail Madrimov August 3rd in Los Angeles. We've got Terrence Crawford, who has a mandatory to that WBO title. Looks like Sebastian Fundora is going to lose that belt, and Terrence is going to be fighting for it. And then also the winner between Terrence Crawford and Ismail Madrimov are also going to get an opportunity to be the mandatory for that WBC title for whoever wins that fight between Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence. I'm pretty sure everybody's hoping Errol Spence is the winner of that fight. Whether you're a fan of him or you're not a fan of him, everybody wants to know what that rematch is going to look like between him and Bud. So let's hope everybody does their job and we get to see it. Hold up. Explain that, please. Oh, Cheese. All right. So I don't know if you know what's going on, Cheese, but so we know that we've got Terrence Crawford and Ismail Madrimov on August 3rd. And if you heard the rumors, or not the rumors, if you heard the news that Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora are going to be fighting for that WBC title that Sebastian Fundora is holding. I'm saying that also knowing that he is also the WBO champion, but the WBO has made it clear that if he fights Errol Spence that night in October, that he's going to lose. It looks like the WBO has plans on stripping Sebastian Fundora of that WBO title. And that means the winner of between Ismail Madrimov and Terrence Crawford, that interim WBO title that they found fighting for would get pushed up to the full WBO title. No?
They're fighting for the WBA.
No, they're fighting for the WBA, but they're also fighting for the interim WBO title.
Okay, and that means Tim Tszyu and whoever the winner of that, Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz winner will fight Bud.
They become the man. They're fighting for the spot to fight for that WBO. So but also Terrence Crawford or Ismail Madrimov, and I got to stop looking past Ismail Madrimov. The winner of that fight is also the mandatory for the WBC title, which is also an interesting conversation.
No. How is that possible if whoever wins is a championship? They're a title holder. You can't be a mandatory as a title holder. I'm not saying that's not true.
No, I know you're not saying that, but
words, but right? I just thought you remove yourself from all rankings once you own the title.
It's interesting, right?
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, break that down.
So this is what we're looking at right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and this is what the WBC put out there, right? I'm trying to get a better look at it for myself.
I got you. All right. WBC Board of Governors has voted to favor to accept our prior WBC welterweight champion Terrence Crawford to be placed as a champion in recess in the welterweight division. Terrence Crawford conquered the WBC welterweight championship with a spectacular performance knocking out previous undefeated Errol Spence July 29, 2023. Crawford will fight on August 3rd at BMO Stadium, Los Angeles, California, on his debut of Riyadh season in the United States. His upcoming superweight fight against Israel Manimov. The WBC board has voted the official sanctions that eliminate. Oh shoot, that's weird, but okay.
All right,
so I got it now. Okay,
that's directly from the WBC.
Okay. All right,
that's their message right there. Okay,
yeah, that makes sense.
And I thought it was weird too. I didn't really understand that, and I think this is why people are upset. Right, people are upset that the WBC is doing that because they feel like, how can they do that? And that's why the name of the thumbnail says "Money Talks." That's what it's all about, right? So yeah, Charles. All right, Charles Cheese says he got it right. Yeah. So the night of that fight, because Bud Crawford is the mandatory for Sebastian Fundora's WBO title, and he's not fighting Bud Crawford, the WBO plans on stripping Fundora that night. Very similar to how Jermell Charlo was stripped of his WBO title when he stepped into the ring with Canelo Alvarez, right? And they gave it to Tim Tszyu pretty much, or had Tim Tszyu fight Brian Mendoza over it. But I mean, pretty much we know that they gave it to Tim Tszyu. Very similar to that is what they plan on doing in this situation. So they'll be fighting for a interim WBO title that night. But when Sebastian Fundora steps in the ring with Errol Spence, they plan on stripping him therefore upgrading the winner of Ismail Madrimov and Terrence Crawford to a full WBO champion. They'll be unified champions, and they'll be the mandatory, from what I understand, from what that writing says right there, they'll be the mandatory to fight the winner of Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora for that WBC title.
That's crazy. So this basically
gotta love boxing.
Yeah. You know,
gotta love it.
Whatever moves he made.
Listen. Money talks. Money talks. Right, everything else walks. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever moves he made, this dude got it. He got it. That's facts.
And
shout out to Turki Alalshikh, bro, for getting it done with all these belts and sanctions, making weird moves in boxing right now.
It goes to show you that the way that it's done is it's all at the discretion of the sanctioning bodies. They do what they want to do. And money moves the needle. Money moves the needle. And that's how seriously Mauricio Sulaiman is taking Turki Alalshikh. He's taking him that serious, where it's like, I want to get in the business of having my belts around the waist of fighters that are affiliated with Turki Alalshikh because of the money that these fighters are making. He wants that percentage. You know what I mean? He wants to get into that business one way or the other. Charles said, I just don't like the elevation after the strip. Yeah, I agree with you. Tim Tszyu or Ortiz should have a chance to fight for that WBO. I think they are. They're gonna have that, Charles. From what I understand, that's also going to be a title eliminator that puts him in position to get at that belt. So a lot of things are going to be happening at the same time. I think if it's on the table, Terrence Crawford is going to take an opportunity to fight either Sebastian Fundora or an Errol Spence. But once again, cross promotion happening there, being that we're dealing with PBC fighters, anticipating that it's not going to be just some lay down fight that gets put together next. I would say more than likely we'll be seeing the winner of Ismail Madrimov and Terrence Crawford fighting the winner of Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz. I think that will be the next fight. That's what I think more than likely will be the next fight. And then get into the conversations, into the negotiations of fighting for that WBC title, or maybe the WBC, maybe, I don't know, Mauricio Sulaiman is moving aggressively. Maybe he starts threatening stripping people if they're not fighting mandatories. Like, if you know what I mean? If they're not fighting their mandatories, maybe he starts talking that way. So we'll see how that turns out.
What's up, though?
Let me see here. What up? What's up with the IBF in 154? If I'm Canelo, I'm telling you, I'm dropping all the belts at 168. I'd love for Canelo to do that, Charles. As far as that 154, they do have a fight lined up for that vacant IBF, though. I can't remember the name of the fighter. Do you know who it is? It's
they're already champion right now. They just fought last month. Yeah, they fought like last month, and he won it. He won the belt. Yeah, it was Metro. I can't say his name. Metro Slavly. He won last month or early this month. Was it early this month or in April? I think it was end of April. He won. Yeah, he already knocked dude out.
Let's see. Who's fighting? Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he won that last month. No longer vacant.
Yeah, a Russian. Bakram.
I think he beat a German dude. I think he beat the dude that's from Germany or like Lithuania or something like that. Was one of those.
Yeah, it's Kulkai.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat him. So we have an IBF title holder at right now. Right. We have one right now. So, you know what I mean? So that's what we're looking at, man. And boxing is beautiful. Boxing is becoming very interesting this year. You know, last year we had a great year of boxing. The PBC, you know, shout out to the PBC. They put in some good work, putting out some great fights. But, you know, this year, dare I say, is competing to be even more interesting than last year. Mm-hmm. We've got an undisputed heavyweight champion right now. A great fight, great undisputed champion too. Not no sucker, like somebody who's in the pound for pound conversation as far as I'm concerned. We had a light heavyweight undisputed fight on the line, but you know, we all know that Artur Beterbiev is dealing with some injuries right now that he's working on. But you know, once again, the effort is there. We've got a huge card coming up June 15th that the PBC's putting out with Frank Martin and Tank Davis headlining it, and David Benavidez also stepping up on that card in the light heavyweight division. We have Turkey, who's already assured and told David Benavidez that he want to put him in a position to take on the winner at the time between Bivol and Beterbiev. Got a lot of interesting things going on, and let's not also forget that. Let's not forget Champ Ross. Let's not forget that 5-on-5 card that we've got coming up this weekend. You know what I mean? We got a lot of great boxing to talk about.
We forgot too. You mentioned June 15th. We forgot the other fight on June 15th.
Sabril and Liam Perro. Right. 100%, man. Great fights coming up. Shakur's fighting in July. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I mean, so much boxing to talk about, right? So much boxing to talk about. You gotta love it. You gotta respect it.
That's what's crazy, because all you hear is everything else but boxing. Like, what's going on in boxing? All you hear is the same nonsense every day about the same three people, instead of talking about all these fights coming.
Yeah, you know what I like to say, Ray? Whenever I hear stuff like that, you know what I like to say? I always say this: people talk about what they know about, and they don't like to talk about what they don't know about. I'll leave it at that. You know
hit that button for me.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
People are comfortable speaking about what they know about, and what they don't know about, they're not comfortable speaking. You know what I'm saying? And anything else is uncivilized. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvin Hagley used to say in the Old Spice commercials. You know what I'm saying? Anything else is uncivilized.
Uncivilized, right?
Right. So, we got the Big Five. Before we jump into Big Five, I just want to tap into something real quick as well. You guys know we got to tap into the Ryan Garcia conversation a little bit. We're going to surface level tap into it. We're not going to get crazy into it, right? So, and it's really the Devin Haney conversation as well, right? So, deflection, right? What's happening right now? So, the new thing that's out right now is this whole entire weight rehydration clause issue. Right? Oh no! Right, we're not going to stay on that long, Steve. I promise you. Right? But I have to touch base and just shed some light on this. Last week I spoke about it a little bit, and I told you guys that I did my research and my due diligence on it, and I couldn't find anything in the California State Athletic Commission rules or guidelines that put Devin Haney in the column of a cheater. Right? I left it at that. I told you guys it wasn't worth my time. We spent about 15, 20 minutes on it, but it caught fire, and all this week, that's all you're hearing about. All content creators across the space keep talking about it, right? And I looked it up again, right? I even looked at the little meeting they had, right? The little meeting that they had in California and everything that came up about it. And this is what the meeting said right here, right? I got it on the screen here where it says discussion and possible action, right? So this was a meeting about a law that they were looking to put to an amendment that they were looking to get to put on a Section 299 of Article 6 of Division 2 of the California Code of Regulations in reference to proposing changes, right, to this guideline when they're talking about dehydration and rehydration. So what does that mean? That basically means that they're having a meeting on offering up legislation to change, to have an amendment added to a legislation that's already there. It also means that it's not active. It never was active. This whole entire campaign to push this idea that Devin Haney cheated. And listen, if he cheated, he cheated. God bless him. Get him. If he cheated, right? But he didn't cheat. On paper, he didn't cheat. And why would they push it out there? They're pushing it out there, obviously, to take away attention from what Ryan Garcia is dealing with his whole entire PED situation. Guys, boxing is such an amazing sport. There's so many things going on at the same time as we're talking about, and we're going to get into this 5-on-5 card. We have so much boxing to talk about tonight, right? It makes no sense to keep hanging on this topic, this situation. It makes no sense. Ryan Garcia popped on 4 different tests, 2 A samples, 2 B samples. It's up to him to prove his innocence or prove that it was some sort of contamination. This whole idea of, this being the worst thing in the world that could ever happen, it's disturbing to see the boxing space react that way to this situation. Very disturbing. We're going to see what happens. The New York State Athletic Commission has to come up with a decision on what they're going to do. they're a little bit upside down, being at the head of the commission of the New York State Athletic Commission. As you guys know, it was a young lady. I can't remember what her name is, but she quit. She resigned. Said she had to go take care of her mother. That looked weird to me. But they got to get all that organized. And when they do, they'll make a decision in Ryan Garcia's situation. And he brings a lot of money to the table. So it's probably not going to be a long suspension. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 6 months. Who knows how they might handle it, right? But forget about Ryan Garcia. The boxing space is what's thrown me off the most about this topic. The reaction to it, how much attention it's getting, the deflection, the insane deflection, and the support of all these different content creating spaces that are supporting the deflection. There's no reason for it. It's not necessary. We've got so much boxing to talk about. Why aren't we talking about it? And I know a large part of it probably has to do with content creation, clicks, views, money making. I totally get it. Like I get like the idea behind pushing and getting all this content. But guys, boxing is suffering at the cost of some YouTube clicks, right? And I mean, I'm going to leave it there. I can get deeper. I have so much documentation that I could show on this topic, but it would just overtake this whole entire session that we're doing here, and it'd be a waste of time because we got so much boxing to talk about, right? So I just wanted to leave that statement on there. Also, there was I've heard that there's channels potentially hating on the kid, mad, saying that I'm saying things that I didn't say. I'm assuming I'm getting to be a pretty popular guy out here in these YouTube streets when it comes to the boxing space. I'm just going to assume that. But I just want to put some perspective real quick on this little situation right here.
Said talk about CY said talk about the hair test. Okay, cool. SARMs don't come up in hair tests. There you go. There you go. Those types of supplements won't show up in your hair test. How about that? Now, how about that?
That's crazy.
I
didn't even know that.
Right.
I didn't even know that. What I did know. Right. Ooh. So at the end of the day, there's this narrative out there that I'm going around telling people that you can't test that you can't test SARMs in hair follicle tests. I don't know if you can't. Now, I'm not going to go that much deeper into it because I've actually done the research and there is some truth behind that whole entire thing, but it's not absolute, right? There hasn't been anybody who's popping on with SARMs on a hair positive test recorded yet, right? Right. You know how it goes, Mr. Big Play. But at the end of the day, of course, anything that's in your system can get found through your hair. You know what I'm saying? If you use it hard enough and if you use it for a long enough time. But there's also so many different ways to alter the results of a hair follicle test as far as bleaching, certain shampoos that you can use. There's just so many different ways to do it. That's why WADA, that's why the New York State Athletic Commission will never allow a hair follicle test to overturn a urinalysis test, right?
Especially third party.
Especially a third party test. And let's put some perspective on third party is because a lot of people are sitting here saying that VADA is a third party. And I agree, right? But the third party that the New York State Athletic Commission is talking about is a party of people testing that they haven't approved, right? That's outside of their that's outside of the doctors that they work with. The New York State Athletic Commission has worked with VADA. They acknowledge what VADA is doing. As long as both fighters have signed up to be inside that pool, they'll accept VADA's results. Well, not VADA. Let's be clear about that. WADA, right? Because that's who's actually giving the results. That's different than going to your private doctor, who the New York State Athletic Commission doesn't have a witness there, has no access, or has no relationship with that doctor, and going there and getting a test done by him. Okay. There's a difference there as far as third party when it comes to that conversation. I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm gonna let my haters know, yo, bro, keep hating, man. It's flattering in many ways, right? I would say try not to lie because the internet has paper trail, and we can always find the truth between what you're saying happened and what actually happened. And when you go that far to go ahead and paint. And you know that's one of me and Ray Davis's favorite lines. When you go that far to paint somebody into something that they're not, it starts to look like there's a little envy there, a little jealousy. There's a lot of things like an onion layer that's under the surface of what's going on, and what it definitely isn't me lying that's got you feeling that way. Let that sizzle in your spirit.
Thanks.
All right. Now we'll get past that. Let's talk about Devin Haney hit piece. Devin Haney this week. Yeah, man. That Devin Haney hit piece was crazy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You made, bro. Congrats. Thank you, RC. I appreciate that, brother. I really do appreciate that. You don't know how much I do appreciate that.
Right.
So let's talk about some of these fights that's on this 5-on-5. You feel like jumping into that, or we can also jump into there's Frank Martin and Tank Davis, obviously. And
let's give it to the chat.
Chat, what should we jump into right now? How about these?
One and twos. 5 for 5 for 1. Tank and Frank for 2. Put them in the chat. See what we got.
Put it in. Are we talking about that 5 for 5, or are we going into the Frank Martin and Tank Davis card? I think I'm gonna make a decision because I think everybody's asleep.
Yeah, I think so. I'm about to fall asleep with him. We got a 1 from Charles. Right. That's all we need. Look.
All right. So that was for the 5-on-5, right?
Yep, 5-on-5. Yep. We got 2.
That's what. To be honest with you, that's what I want to talk about. So.
So then why ask?
That's what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can talk about the obvious fight on the card that I think everybody's probably looking at. I'm wondering, have they upgraded Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang to the main event on that card, or are they still keeping it?
It looks like that. That's what it looks like. It looks like they moved Zhang and Wilder up to the main event. I can go check.
No doubt. While you checking on that, let me see here. 55555. Oh, Rob Scott with 2555 crib. Yeah, it looks like Wilder's the main card. Yeah, there you go. Cheese Bluebird was checking on you, brother. Yeah, Southwest. I was telling him that, man. We was asking about Cheese, like what happened to him. Yeah, that's the main event now. That's what Champ
is. Yeah, I got it right here. Yep, it is. Okay,
so let's start off with this fight right here. Let's start off with Raymond Ford and Nick Ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, the midget can punch, bro. I'm sorry to say it like that, but I watched him knock some people out, bro. He can fight. Yeah. He can fight. But I like
Raymond Ford.
Raymond Ford in this fight.
Yeah,
bro,
man.
Jersey all the way, bro. You know that.
I'm about to say you got to do Jersey's own, man.
Weapon. And he from over there by Philly, so I better see Flyer Frequency up here. Be like, yo, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
No doubt. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Nick Ball has been kind of has a reputation for being a little dirty. I think when you're that short, when you have those type of like physical, I don't want to say challenges, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Those shortcomings, you know what I mean? He's a tough dude, and he's going to always teeter on that line to get that edge. You know what I'm saying? To kind of make that fight even. Nick Ball had a great fight like 2 months ago on Turki Alalshikh's last card when he fought against was it 2 or 3 months ago, whatever it was, but he fought against Ray Vargas, I want to say it was that he fought. A great fight that a lot of people thought Nick Ball squeezed out of winning that fight. Felt like he that the judges didn't go his way, but Turki Alalshikh definitely became very fond of this kid based off of that fight. And pretty much, a lot of people feel like this is a reward for, even though he lost that fight on paper, but in front of Turki feeling like it's a victory, putting him up and giving him a title shot against Ray Ford. And Ray Ford, you guys saw his last fight. That was a Rocky movie. You know what I'm saying? Right. The way he came back from that situation, you know what I'm saying? I think he had a pretty decent cut in that fight. You know what I mean? And ultimately ended up stopping that guy in the last 10 seconds of the last round of that fight. You know what I mean? Tearjerker, man. Big tearjerker, like a damn movie. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're all expecting this to be an exciting fight. Some people are putting this fight to be potentially fight of the night. Potentially. Right. When you got two small guys like that, and also Turki Alalshikh showing that, this is not just about the heavyweight division, about putting this fight together. Right, bringing an American fighter like Raymond Ford over there to defend his title in Riyadh. Raymond Ford's probably going to make the most money he's ever made you know what I mean, since he's been boxing in this fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think pedigree-wise, Raymond Ford is supposed to be on paper to win this fight, but you can't put Nick Ball out because he is tough as nails. He's going to do whatever he has to do to frustrate Raymond Ford. Whatever he can do, he will do. That's what we know about him. Whatever he can do, he will do. But I am also leaning towards Raymond Ford, just like you. Do you have any keys for the success of Raymond Ford in this fight, or keys for Nick Ball to win this fight?
Well, Nick Ball, like I said, he's like a scrapper. He likes to get inside. He make the fight rough and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pause. But when he does, you know what I mean, he makes it uncomfortable for his opponents. He has to continue to do that with Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford has shown that he can get uncomfortable in situations, but he also shown true to be a champion. I think for Raymond Ford, what he has to do,
Ross Scott ain't shit.
Yo, but listen, but I think Raymond Ford just has to be the boxer. At this point, be the boxer, keep him at a distance, and let him walk into something. That's the best way. That's the best way for Raymond Ford to win the fight. I believe that's what he does, and I believe he walks home with that victory, holding on to his title. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of that spectrum, I think Nick Ball needs to do the opposite, right? He needs to try to drag Raymond Ford into a bad neighborhood, right? Into a bad neighborhood. Let me come follow me down this alley. You know what I'm saying? I got something special for you down this alley. Don, you safe, man. You with me, you safe. You know what I mean? Walk with me this way. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the lights being out, man. The lights don't be working sometimes, but you good. Come with me here, right? So Nick Ball has to make this fight uncomfortable for Raymond Ford and force Raymond Ford and tap into Raymond Ford's lack of experience, I think. Lack of experience of dealing with their situations. Last fight he had, I can't remember the guy he fought. I feel horrible. But, you know, it seemed like that dude was outboxing Raymond Ford for a minute there. Won a lot of early rounds. Raymond had to kind of bring it back together. Now, Raymond Ford also had a funny way of training for this fight. Now, you guys know he's with Coach Anthony, right? The guy from out of Jersey. I don't know if you guys know he's on the internet, on YouTube, showing people how to box and stuff like that. But Coach Anthony spoke to some situations where Raymond Ford was leaving for the last 3 weeks of the camp to go to Texas to go and train with Shakur Stevens in Houston. Said that he was okay with it because, you know what I'm saying, he know they had that relationship, but at the same time, he said ideally he would never like to have a fighter do that, right? So I think that was him kind of like speaking to it to not like throw shots at Raymond Ford, to kind of, you know, not to make it look like there was any type of disagreement or you know what I'm saying, between them. But he did kind of make it clear that that's not what he would like to do. He doesn't like to work that way, but he was respecting the fact that prior to him being that he was a new coach with Raymond Ford, pretty much, that prior to him being in the picture, that this was what Raymond Ford did, and he didn't want to disrupt what seems like it was working for Raymond Ford. But when you look at the way that fight was going and by the way, if you guys watch that fight, Coach Anthony did a great job in that corner. Like, one of the things that was great about that fight was watching Coach Anthony work. Like, that was something for me, watching him speak to Raymond Ford and getting him from that, because he was down, right? He was down, and he was dealing with a lot of adversity. Shout out to Trill Will.
Trill Will, peace.
Shout out to Trill Will. Shout out to everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he brought him from that adversity, right? He brought him in from that adversity and got him to a victory, man. And, you know, like I said, like a Rocky movie, to see Raymond Ford come back like that and stop who he was fighting like that was incredible. But now this is a fight that's overseas, right? This is in Riyadh. Raymond Ford is out of his element. You know what I'm saying? He's not home in Jersey. He's not, you know, in the States somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm sure he didn't get to fly back to Houston, Texas for his last 3 weeks. He's been up in Riyadh acclimating to the new environment. You know what I mean? Maybe this was an opportunity for him and Coach Anthony to truly build that bond, right? To come together and get that relationship that they weren't able to do on his last fight. And maybe we might see the best Raymond Ford that we've seen, right?
I think
Coach
so.
Anthony, right? So maybe that's an opportunity for him to do that. Nick, if anybody can give Raymond Ford adversity, Nick Ball can do it. He can put him in a situation where Raymond Ford has to dig deep and be disciplined, because the more undisciplined you are against a fighter like Nick Ball, the more you're playing in Nick Ball's territory, because that's what he wants you to be. He wants you to go for it. He wants you upset. He wants you taking chances. He wants you in there trying to prove yourself, right? He wants you to try to prove himself. And shout out to J.R. Spock, yo.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming, but no, I don't think so.
My community is the best boxing community. I don't care. We don't talk about no stupid shit. We talk about boxing here. Shout out to J.R.
It's so funny. I was gonna mention that too, Clay, but I was like, I'm gonna hold off. I'm glad he mentioned it. I don't think it is. I think he wants to hold on to that a little bit longer, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of I think he wants that Stevie Fulton fight. In my opinion, I think he really wants that fight at 126. That set him up with a good opportunity to prove himself. I don't think he wants to move up right away because there's some you know what I mean, that 130 division has some tough fighters up there for him. And being that he's a little, I mean, I know his weight issues and stuff like that, but I think he needs to stay a little longer, maybe one more fight.
Yeah, Ray spoke to it a little bit, and kind of like, you know, there was a lot of people who thought that what we saw in that fight, you know, was maybe due to like strong a weight cut that he might not be as comfortable with. And Coach Anthony spoke to it as well, saying that he wasn't there really for the weight cut. It was that last 3 weeks he wasn't really there, so he's really not aware of how difficult or not difficult it was. You know, the last 3 weeks he was out there with Shakur and dealing with Shakur's team. But there were rumors about him potentially going up to 130 and getting at what's the homie's name who just beat Hector Garcia? Something Roach. What's his name? What's his name? Him, as well as also obviously O'Shaquie Foster. Right. Those guys up there.
Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach. Him potentially trying to put himself in position to get a shot at one of those guys up there. So we'll see how it turns around, but ain't none of that happening. Lamont, no doubt. Cheese, no doubt. The fight that's in front of him is a dog fighter, a game fighter, who has the blessing of Turkey. You know, a lot of people putting a lot of putting a lot of their vested interest in him. And I saw him in his fight with Ray Vargas. I thought I don't know if I feel like he won I did. I remember that day. That's how I felt. I felt like
I thought he beat him. I think we talked about it. And I was like, I think they just robbed him.
Right. Exactly. He won that fight, in my opinion.
I think that Stevie Fulton fight is there for him. You know what I mean? If Stevie Fulton's the guy that's right behind him, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he definitely wants the title again, Stephen Fulton. You know what I mean? So I think that lines up a great opportunity for him, and I don't see why not.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I think there's a lot of what we're talking about right now. Basically, when it comes down to it, what it's saying is Raymond Ford has a lot of options in front of him, a lot of opportunity. If he's able to get through Nick Ball and do it in a dominating way, or in a very, you know what I mean, have a great fight and a great show with Turki Alalshikh, putting the money behind him, he has a lot of opportunities. If Turkey is co-signing and willing to put up fights for Raymond Ford, everybody's going to want a piece of him. You know what I'm saying? People will come down the weight. You might even see somebody like Inoue get involved with a conversation with coming up to 126 all of a sudden because Turkey's involved in it, right? Maybe he comes up there. Maybe you know. So all types of opportunities potentially if Raymond Ford's able to deliver on this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to see that fight happen. And 100%, the coach, Nick Ball might win. He is a dog. He's there to win. Raymond Ford does not have an easy fight in front of him. One thing I'm going to say about Turki Alalshikh is he don't give away easy money. He doesn't really do that. You know what I'm saying? He lines up. The matchmaking over there is always top notch. He's putting together fights. You hear how he's trying to put Jared Anderson against Deontay Wilder. He don't give easy money. He going to get Jared paid, but he going to make Jared walk through the Loch Ness Monster to get that back. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And on top of that, just to actually throw one more thing out there, Clay, for you, like you said, he don't give away easy money, but check this out. He puts styles together too.
Right.
I mean, like he doesn't just put like your basic fighters or whatever. He makes great fights. Like he measures styles against each other, so people are challenged when they're fighting each other. And I like what he does with that. You know what I mean? That's Yeah, that's how he rolls. Turkish he does roll like that, for real. I don't see what's the name of the rankings anymore either, so that's actually weird. He just had a fight. Did he move up?
Cool.
What's the dude's name? Just won a title over there. What's his name? The Latin dude that just won, the Mexican kid that just
You're
won.
not talking about Bam, right?
No,
Bam is all the way down.
126.
Right.
But he just won the title. I thought he just beat what's the name up and won that title. But it is what it is.
You're talking about. I know you're talking about. You're talking about.
I can't think of his name.
Espinosa. You talking about Espinosa, the one who just beat? Is he at 126?
No, not Espinosa. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Hold on. Okay. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Yeah, while you finding him.
Look, keep building.
Yeah, no doubt. So, that's Nick Ball and Raymond Ford. That's potentially fight of the night. There's a lot of fights on this card that could be potentially fight of the night. Another fight that I think could potentially be fight of the night, which I'm going to bring up right now, is going to be Daniel Dubois and Filip Ergovic. Daniel Dubois coming off a great victory, showing a lot of heart, showing that he wanted to make a statement. When you look at the fact that he suffered that loss against Usyk, he had an opportunity to be great. A lot of people felt like he got robbed in that fight as far as the body shot was concerned. People thought that the ref called it low, but a lot of people felt like it wasn't low. Me, myself, I'm not going to lie, I don't think it was low. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a low shot, but it was right there on that belt line. So if you saw it as low, you know what I'm saying, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I don't take anything from Usyk because Usyk did stop him, ended up stopping him in that fight. So Usyk was really, really won that fight for me. You know what I mean? But regardless, his heart was put in question at the end of that fight. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people felt like he could have came up off the ground and he chose to stay down. At the end of the day, he had a lot to prove. He got on the card in Riyadh and got a chance to redeem himself against Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who came in the fight about 100+ pounds, 100 pounds over. You know what I mean? Heavier than Daniel Dubois. And Daniel Dubois stood in the paint and got fought all the way to the last round to where he actually stopped the Jarrell Big Baby Miller for the first time. Seeing Jarrell Big Baby Miller not only take his first loss, but also that first loss being stopped by the hands of Daniel Dubois. He showed a lot of grit in that fight. And he's fighting against a Filip Ergovic, who a lot of people feel like is, rightfully one of the next guys in there who they're expecting to make a title run. And this is going to be, I guess, now that the information has been updated, it's going to be for an interim IBF title, being that they decided they're going to allow Usyk to hold his IBF champion in the spirit of that rematch happening with Tyson Fury. So a lot to prove here, a lot of ground to gain here. If Daniel Dubois is able to make that power move, it puts him in great position to be right there in title contention, and Filip Ergovic obviously as well. So both these fighters have everything to fight for, and Daniel would be the one fighter in that whole situation that you'd be like, you wonder if his heart's going to be there. He showed a lot of heart in that last fight he had with Jarrell Big Baby Miller, and Filip Ergovic at the same time though. Did Filip beat Zhilei Zhang? Ergovic. Mm-hmm. He beat Zhang? He did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, hold on. No, I don't think so. Hold on.
He didn't beat Zhang?
Hold on. Now I gotta go check. Hold on. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. But I'm going to double check, so I'm not just saying stuff just to be saying.
Yeah. We definitely got to draw the facts. You know they're watching this. They'll throw this up on the internet tomorrow and say we was up here.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, he lost. Yeah, Filip won.
Filip beat Zhang, right?
Yeah.
Right. So Ergovic, listen, man, I don't know if he's faced any real adversity. I say the keys to success in this fight, for Daniel Dubois is to not to be too reserved. Don't let Filip Ergovic sit comfortably out there, destroying you with that jab, being the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow him to do that. You're kind of the Nick Ball in this fight, even though I think Daniel Dubois comes in the ring about like 6'5", 6'4". He's not a short guy. right? Like he's like 6'4", 6'5". What is he? Don't get me lying out here.
Yeah,
I think he's
right.
up there.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. Yeah, he's about 6'5", 6'5".
Right. And SVB TV said a controversial win over Zhang. Yeah, it wasn't no dominating. He didn't just dominate him.
Right.
Right.
I think Dubois wins. I don't think
a lot of people are picking Dubois to win this fight, and I think if he brings that will, it's going to be up here that Dubois needs to win this fight. Up here, that's where it needs to happen. He's athletic. He's in great shape. He was just in a crazy fight with Jerome Big Baby Miller. That was a high pace, high output. You know what I'm saying? High output punch fight.
I say he needs to fight that same way for Baby Miller. That's the same exact way.
And he needs to test Philip Ergovich's grit.
Early.
Test his grit.
Early.
Show me who you are tonight and show the world who you are tonight. You are not going to sit here and just, sit outside and sit behind that jab all night. Nah. You know what I mean?
Test him early, bro.
He definitely can do it. JR Box says Ergovich wins. I think on paper, Ergovich wins. But I think as far as if Daniel Dubois is able to turn this into a fight, make it a fight, make get out of boxing, like get Ergovich out of boxing and drag him into some muddy waters, into fighting. I think Daniel Dubois can definitely. He has the power. He has all of the intangibles to put this dude to sleep. You know what I mean? Yep. Sometimes when you watch a fighter like Ergovich put in the work he's been putting in with all these fights in that comfort, we see he becomes a little bigger than he really is. And we haven't seen him in there with who Daniel Dubois was against Jerry Big Baby Miller. We haven't seen him in there with that fighter. We've seen him in there with who Daniel Dubois was against Usyk.
That's still great. That was still great Daniel Dubois until he got knocked out.
Right.
I think he fought that. Yeah, I was gonna say, but I think that fight he did was great. But yeah, no, I think if he roughhouses and he tests the waters early, I think Dubois wins easily. He has to make it his fight. He has to make it a dog fight too.
Right, I agree with you. Hopefully, and Charles Edwards, he said, hopefully Ergovich is in shape in this fight. Yeah, if Ergovich is taking Daniel Dubois as serious as he's supposed to, that's also how we're gonna know, right? Like when Zhilei Zhang fought against Joe Parker, when we saw Zhilei Zhang come in that ring like 300 pounds, we knew already. If you knew, you knew. Like he wasn't in shape. He didn't take this fight seriously. I don't know what he was thinking, but Joseph Parker was able to take advantage of that fat motherfucker. And you know what I'm saying? And make him look bad. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if Philip Ergovich takes his fight seriously enough and understands that if he respects Daniel Dubois' pedigree, the threat that he represents, if he truly respects the threat that Daniel Dubois represents in the ring, then we're going to see a great fight one way or another. I also think that this fight is potentially going to be fight of the night. What do you think, Ray?
I do think that. I don't know about fight of the night. I'm actually thinking that I think that first fight on the card is going to be the fight of the night.
You talking about Raymond?
Yep.
I think so too. But I think potential. I'm saying potential.
But no, it has. Yeah, no, it definitely has its abilities to be. I mean, do we see Malik Zinad giving a little trouble to Dimitri Bivol? No.
Right.
You know what I mean, this fight that you're talking about now is a potential. It's a good fight. You know what I mean, then you had the 19-0 Hamad Shariz and Austin Williams. That's a good fight, but I think we're playing. I mean, we're in a different division of, like, we know, lack of attention. So nobody really cares. Not to try to be funny. And then you have the main event. You know what I mean? It's the Richards and Hutchinson. I don't know. You know what I mean? Another light heavyweight fight that nobody really wants to go out of their way to be like, okay. Like middleweight, like right now at the middleweight division, who do we really know? I mean, it's like a few people there. 160, 147. It's 147 starting to actually come back into play. But you know what I mean. But 160 is, like we were talking about divisions, how everything is just dying down in the major divisions. It can start get, you know what I mean. But a lot of people gonna be leaving 154 soon, just to let you know. So 160 will be back where it needs to be. But right now, yeah, I'm not. Nah. I think Raymond Ford, Nick Ball is a fight to watch. I think. That's a great fight to watch. And I think Wilder Zhilei Zhang is a great fight. I don't see the Herkovich and Dubois fight being the fight that we want to see. I think it's a high impact fight. I think it'll bring some energy to the ring, and I'm glad that they centered it around the other fighters. You know what I mean? Other fights, so that makes sense. You know what I mean, when you look at
Right.
the card. But yeah, you said 147, 154, and 160 is kind of wide. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to see the fighters moving up from 154 and 147 going to move up. We're going to start seeing some better fighters because we're going to start getting the fights that we want once these guys start moving up. But it is what it is, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I think that potentially could be fight of the night. You never know. I'm definitely got my eyes on that fight. So moving into the next fight that we can get into. I mean, we can obviously get into the Zhang Zhang Wilder fight, but what about who's the other fight? The other big heavyweight fight on there, man. I'm tripping. I am tripping right now.
Trying
to pull up the card.
Heavyweight is Wilder, Zhang, or Rich Dubois, and then you have your light heavyweight, which I just mentioned to you,
right?
Hutchison and Richards,
right? Which I think is going to be a good fight as well, but I think it's not going to be fight of the night.
Right. Well, I'm looking at the. Let me show you. If you're looking at the same thing I'm looking at, look at the stars at the fight, and they're telling you which is going to be the highlight of the fight, like which people want to see. The stars right there are telling.
Where are you seeing it at? What you looking at?
I'm at BoxRec.
Oh, BoxRec.
And BoxRec tells you which fights are the fights that people are like.
And that's one of them?
Right. The fight is Raymond Ford, Nick Ball. And I actually didn't even realize that was the fight. I just noticed the stars just now after I said it. But yeah, that fight's like a 3-star, as well as Deontay Wilder and Zhang Zhang is a 3-star, which is funny. That's crazy. But no respect for the veterans. No respect. But yeah,
Saudi.
Yeah. You got it? No, just type just type in one of the boxers' name and then go to event. It comes right up. Any boxer.
June 1st, I got it.
All right. Yeah, you see all how they rating the fights on the side with the stars.
Saturday, June 1st, Box Pro submit.
Yeah,
let me see schedule. How about we do that?
Let me see if I can share this.
On BoxRec?
Yeah, I'm about to send it to you right now. Yeah, go to private chat. That way you ain't got to look all through that. We'll just send it and you go from there.
All right.
And you can see all the stars and stuff. They give you the way that they think the fights are going to be. I never noticed that before. This is the first time I noticed that.
They want me to log in. Okay, I see what it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. I got it. We good.
Yeah, I got that special privilege, bro. Boy, Claymore tried to decode the first set of snow. Cheese got jokes.
What do you say?
He said he tried to decode the weather. That was at his stove.
You see my face? Jeez, you see me, bro? I'm stuck over here trying to figure this thing out, man.
Yo.
It's a problem out here, man. It's a problem out here, man.
Yo, that's funny. That's funny.
But so let's get into this into the Deontay Wilder Zhang Zhang fight, right? Might as well get.
Let's just skip around. Let's get to the main points. Let's
just get right to it.
Right.
Keys to success for Wilder. Keys to success of Zhang Zhang to win this fight.
Zhang Zhang. I'll start with him. Zhang Zhang has to be. He has to put the pressure on early. Keep Wilder in the center of the ring, and just keep him with the George Foreman lazy punches that just nothing but power. Right, exactly. He can walk Wilder into something just by coming forward, and staying there in range of that power uppercut and that hook. He can stay in range of that, but he can also play it safe by not getting caught with that overhand or that straight that Wilder likes to drop people with. So the other end of Wilder is you got a guy that's going to keep coming forward. Just 1, 2, 3. Just set him up and just drop the bomb. You know what I mean? That's it. End of story. Ain't nothing else to say.
Right.
That's it for me. Like, just, you know what I mean? This guy's not going to stand. He's not going to be a moving target.
No, I agree. I think Wilder needs a fight and not box, right? He needs to acknowledge who he is and remember who he is. Now, the question is, if Wilder's head is in the game, right? If he's in the game, man, this thing is just going to be difficult, huh? You're just going to be difficult. I'm thinking I can get you to work, but you're not going to let me work. Anyway, Wilder has to fight, bro. Boxing is not an option for him. Stylistically, like, well, Ross Scott just said stylistically, Wilder should win, right? But we don't know what Wilder, you know what I mean? Wilder has to be the Wilder that fought against, I want to say Tyson Fury, but before Tyson Fury, right? Because even that Wilder was kind of weird trying to box a little bit more than he knows how to. He needs to know his limitations, but also knows what he excels at and be confident in what he excels at and bring that to the table. Zhang might want to take a page out of Tyson Fury's book and use his size, you know what I'm saying? Smother Wilder as much as he can. Don't allow Wilder to get that distance, man, and pick you apart from the outside and throw them shots. It's going to be a bad night for you if you do that, bro. You need to keep this fight mid-range, and you need to hit with bad intentions. If he tries to keep it at a distance, I think he's gonna lose this fight, bro. I think Wilder excels when people play that game, trying to sit outside his reach and throw that jab out there. Wilder needs that extension. He needs that space for that power to crack and for that power to come together. Joseph Parker was able to show keeping a mid-range fight with Wilder was going to be very difficult for Wilder to get past. Wilder was having hard times finding his opportunity to let his hands go. I think he wanted to let his hands go in that fight, but I think the way Joseph Parker was maintaining that mid-range and cutting that ring off, he was kind of waiting on Joseph Parker a little too long to make a mistake to find his shot, and he really needed to make the opportunity, like force the opportunity, make the opportunity by giving Joseph Parker something he could feel that was going to make Joseph Parker kind of not want to be inside of that mid-range anymore, and then boom, that was going to be his opportunity out there to have them shots. He needs to do that with Zhang. Zhang needs to keep it a mid-range fight and cut that ring off. He did decent against Joseph Parker. We're trying to do that. Obviously, Joseph Parker made him look kind of amateurish, but I'm going to say that a lot of that had to do with how big he was. So also, Zhang, I want to see him in that ring in like 280, 275, maybe 270, 275. That's where he should be, 277. If he comes in that ring closer to 300, it's going to be a bad night for him.
Right.
It's going to be a bad night for him. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay, like I said, his job is to be true to who he is. Look to land that right hand, that 1-2. You know what I mean? Use that left hand as that range finder, that laser beam, and bring that right hand right down that line with straight shots and catch Zhang. That's how I see that happening.
Right.
Oh, let me see here. I just got a message from you.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Since you're having a hard time, I helped you out here.
Okay. Word.
But no, you're 100% right. But like I said, it's just it's either he's going to sit there, he's going to redo the whole fight with Parker, but with somebody that doesn't move as fast or is as strong, or he's going to sit there and see a target that's just sitting there waiting for him to hit. You know what I mean? Like a modern day aircraft putting the bomb on a daggone old 1960s, 40s aircraft carrier. You know what I mean? Just don't move fast enough. Not trying to be funny, but we'll see. We'll see if the bronze bomber can do it, or does the Great Wall of China stand up and deliver? Pause.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to be looking to see Wilder. Not like what Charles Edwards see. Let him go Wilder, man. We're going to see if Wilder's back. If he's there to be the showstopper, to take some chances, to take some risk. What do you think as far as caliber of fighter? You think he's fought better fighters than Zhang outside of obviously Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz?
Yeah, I think so. I think actually I would.
You feel me?
It's hard to say, Clay, because I told you, when Wilder was fighting, he actually did have a better heavyweight division. When he was fighting, did he fight all the elite guys? No, but he fought a lot of the top guys. In most recent history, he hasn't done well per se, but he has fought guys at the top 10 level in the division. But you got to remember, this guy's damn near 40, if not 40. And then you have Zoe Zhang, who in his damn near 50s, fighting people. He's been fighting nothing but elite fighters, I think, much better fighters. So, but at the end of the day, I think, I agree with Roscoe. I think the resume is much better towards Zoe Zhang. I think he's put more opportunities in front of him to make the fights happen. So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard because you have to go back to Wilder back in 15 years or 10 years ago to see, measure that out. But who was he fighting in? It was the heavyweight division again. Was it close to him?
Right, 100%. I think that he said Luis Ortiz was 9-2 and Ali fought listing. Yeah, shout out to them Cubans out there, you know what I mean, making it happen. But both these guys have a lot on the line. If Wilder plans on doing anything in the future, this fight means everything for him. This is his last shot. He's coming off of a loss. Another loss is gonna, kind of push him to the side. There's opportunities there for him to make some big money against Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? On that Crawford card. So there's opportunities there for him to do that. And as far as Zhang is all of 40 something. This is his last chance. This is it. And and I forgot. Winner should fight AJ. No, winner between Ergovich, I'm sorry, and Daniel Dubois, I think are scheduled to fight AJ too. Big opportunity once again. So
I think AJ and Dubois would be a great fight.
Right. Clay Zhang actually looks smaller at the face-off with Wilder. I could tell by how small his neck looked. Yeah, will it be smart if he's not able to absorb Wilder's powers to come in small? Man, listen, that is a great point, Jannard. Very great point. Right. Because when you look at what Tyson Fury looked like against Usyk, a lot of people was like, "Oh, Tyson Fury came in great shape, cut that weight." But was he able to absorb them shots from Usyk?
Pointing at you, Clay.
What? Why you pointing at me? Why?
Because that's what you were saying.
Right. Exactly. I would say. Yeah, I was saying that with Tyson Fury and Usyk, right? So this
other people said it. You're right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So Zhang coming in smaller, he's in better shape. But is this a fight where he needs to be the big guy?
Here's the issue with that. No. Because he's been fighting like this for a while. See, we are only used to seeing him because he just ballooned up to 300 pounds. But he's always been around 267, 280, 270, like in that range. So we're just looking at him, to where he's normally fought at to where he just fought at. So I think he does. I think him coming in like this does help him in a sense of that it does make a difficult fight in the middle of the ring, like I said. He just can't be a statue. Bottom line, he just can't be a statue or a punching bag and just stand there. He's got to develop some movement.
100%.
What's flyer frequency saying?
He's saying if Wilder loses, he thinks he might be over him.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And that's another thing, right? Like, is it already over for him? Is it already over for Wilder as far as where Wilder's at mentally? You know what I mean? Where is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does he have that's motivating him to be the fighter, that killer, you know what I'm saying, that passion he had when, he was trying to do something better for his daughter or build a family or build a legacy or make money. Now he's rich. Now he has everything he needs for the most part. Why is he even in the ring? You know what I'm saying? These are some of his biggest bags that he has an opportunity to make getting in there with Turkey. So clearly money is a big motivation for him. But is that enough for him to compete at this level?
Yep. I think it's more to that. I think we're missing the big picture here. He wants that AJ fight. He's been clawing and trying to get this AJ fight for a long time. All those other things have been accomplished or failures in his life as a fighter. But he never got that fight that he wanted with AJ. And I think that's what he's desired to get that fight before he retires. That's the fight he wants. And he's been trying to get that for what now? Over 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah, about a decade almost. But does AJ? Ooh,
That keeps him in his game,
does
bro. I'm
AJ
telling you.
even
That's
have
what
Wilder in his crosshairs? Is AJ looking
Oh,
at?
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
That's money. That's a money fight for him. That's
I
a
know it's a
big
money
fight.
fight, right? But at
Yeah.
the same time, AJ is also a fighter who's very motivated by legacy. He's very motivated by that, and he's in a position right now to where he's gonna clearly his next fight looks like it's gonna be the winner between Ergovich and Daniel Dubois. Now, at that point, when he's done with that, there should be a rematch happening between Usyk and Tyson Fury, right? So he's going to get that if he's able to beat the winner of between Daniel Dubois and Philip Ergovich, which he very well may, he'll be an IBF interim champion. He's going to have an opportunity to fight the winner between Tyson Fury and Usyk to chase undisputed. Does he give up that opportunity or risk that opportunity by getting in the ring with a Deontay Wilder? He's going to make a big payday regardless. It's Turkey and it's belts involved. Turkey's going to make sure he gets his payday. So how motivated is Anthony Joshua to stay in a position to where he's going to fight a Deontay Wilder off a victory like this? You know what I'm saying? How realistic is it? How many fights does Deontay Wilder have to be ready to fight before he fights Anthony Joshua again? Maybe 2, 3 more fights?
We know they've been trying to get this fight done for a long time. I think it would even happen after the day of reckoning if they both had won. I think that's the fight they were trying to build up to, and I think this was just a reset button they push. Now they're trying to get him to fight somebody, make it worthwhile, have him fight Anderson if he beats Zhang Zhang, and promote that fight for maybe early 2025. It's easier said than done, and I think out of those two gets the winner of the undisputed title. That's my opinion.
Okay. And we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder has to be motivated, man. At this level of the game, fighting who he's gonna have to fight. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Even him fighting, let's say the German Ajit Kabayel, even him fighting him is going to be a challenging fight. That guy's he's really in the game. And then you got certain like outliers that are sitting there for big fights to be made with Deontay. You got Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Big Baby Miller fighting each other. The winner of that fight could be a legitimate fight for the winner of, let's say, Jared Anderson, Deontay Wilder fight. These guys are all motivated. They're all in the prime of their careers trying to make names for themselves and trying to get inside these conversations. And Turkey's is just a he's a motivational factor in this because these are the biggest paydays that these guys can make. And Turkey loves heavyweight. So these guys are trying to put their best foot forward in their performances. Deontay is going to be fighting some real dog dudes, right? Who's sitting up here like, nah, bro, I can't let you just take me out of here, bro. You know what I mean? I can't just let you see and take me out. I'm going to fight the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? So he needs a mentality that's going to match that intensity for who he needs to be. He needs to be like that guy who fought old boy, what's his name? Berman Stevenson. I mean, he needs that Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? To compete at this level. Is he there? You know what I'm saying? Is he there? You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. Listen, we don't know. I think he is. I think after that he took boxing or the way he fights a little bit more seriously after that loss to Parker. And I think we're going to see that. I think we'll see a different Wilder. I think he'll come back out. I think he's going to make the points that he's going to continue to do what he's doing to get up there to fight that AJ fight before he retires so he can say he did it. Because that's something that I'm telling you, the fans been clamoring for that fight for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So Turkey wants that fight. He wants that fight more than he wants AJ versus Fury.
I don't believe that.
I promise you he does. I promise you he does. Because that's going to be a bigger fight. Money, belts or not. Belts or not. Money on that table is going to bring him so much. And everybody in boxing will see that fight. That is solidified. Seriously. That's a big fight. That's Holyfield Tyson right there. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is a fight that the world, especially Europe, England, wants to see more than anything. Unless Deontay Wilder really wows with a great performance, like, yeah, he said Wilder has to look good though. Like, unless Wilder really shows that, Wilder has to show something that people think can beat AJ. He has to show that. People don't believe in him no more. You know what I mean? What AJ did to Francis Ngannou, people believe AJ's back. You know what I'm saying? They want to see him get busy. You know what I'm saying? If Deontay comes with a performance like that, he's going to have to garner that attention. I think right now, presently, without him fighting right now, I don't think there's fire out there to see him fight against Deontay Wilder as much as there's fire to see him and Tyson Fury potentially fight for an undisputed title. England, man, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Ross Scott said Malik Scott is the knock-kneed. That's a sign of a bad trainer. Yeah, and then you got Deontay don't really got no team. He don't really like to get trained. I don't know, bro. When you get to this point in your career, you know, Deontay Wilder has always been an athletic, explosive fighter, bro. As you get older, that goes away. The power doesn't go away, but the athleticism goes away. You know, when you see Deontay Wilder now, he's a well-dressed man. Louis Vuitton bags. He's dressed from head to toe. Boy, look like he smelled good. You know what I'm saying? He look like he living that kind of lifestyle. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But it just looks like he got his own cologne. You know what I'm saying? He's living. You know, this is obviously I'm referring to, you know, what Marvin Hagler said. You know what I mean? It's hard. Yeah, he said, "What the fuck?" I'm just saying that man looks like he doesn't look fiery. He doesn't look hungry. He doesn't look gritty. You know what I mean? Charles said that was crazy. I'm just saying that he looked like clean. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's into looking in the mirror.
Don't describe no more. Just keep it moving. No more. Yeah, hazard signs up, bro. Just
how about this? He looks like he's wearing silk pajamas and he's sleeping on the satin sheets, right?
That's worse. Just stop talking. Can't come back from this.
Whatever. The point's
he look like he's living the life, bro. That's it.
Right. He looked like he's living. He looked like he's living a very good life. Like he's into living that. He said, "Only woman still good to me." Clay, salute. Shout out. I deserve that. Go ahead and give it all. I deserve it all. I was trying to
help. I was trying to help, Clay. I was trying to help you.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I did want to, you know, I mean, I wanted to deliver the message, and I think the message is been delivered, right? It's not on deaf ears that at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder doesn't look hungry. He's not out there looking like me. He's not talking about he wants, you know, that Deontay that was on the Breakfast Club saying that he wants a body. I don't think this guy wants a body. You know what I mean? He doesn't want a body on his record. He doesn't want to kill nobody. You know what I'm saying? He wants to just beat you, but he's concerned about your well-being at the same time, right? He's not he's not pulling that trigger the way he pulled it back in the day. And that's all he brought to the table. When you get to this part of your career, if you're going to have that mind state that he has right now, then you're going to have some boxing skills to lean on. You're going to have to become smart, wiser. You're going to have to be that guy who knows how to navigate and get wins without killing people. Is this who Deontay Wilder is? And when did he become this, if that is who he is?
It's a great question. I'm telling you, I think you got it wrong, bro. I think he is that guy. I think the beast was released, bro. I think the Bronze Bomber is going to show you. I think they talked to him behind the scenes. I think they're offering the fights and be like, yo, this is what you need to do. Turkey said, this is what you need to do to get this fight with AJ. Then from there, you can go get your belts.
Does he even want to fight with AJ?
Oh, absolutely he does. Bro, it's a payday for both of them. Bro, you know he's about the money. He's on that money side. You know what I mean? He'll take the belts, but he's on that money side of boxing. So he'll take it. You know what I mean? He knows it. And bro, the shit they've been talking and how they've been, this has been years of building, bro. This is I'm telling you, that's the fight that he's working towards that. And I'm telling you, we'll see what happens. Once the Jared Anderson fight happens, if he's successful, he gets that fight with AJ. He beats JA, he gets AJ.
You saying AJ fights him before he fights the winner of Dubois and Nurkiewicz?
No, I think they fight. I think that'll be amongst the same. You know what I mean? I think that fight will happen during the rematch.
Like early 26, early 25.
I think that Usyk that could happen at the end of the year. That could be a Usyk. Well, Usyk and Fury might be early next year, but I think it happens sometime in December. Let's say December. That fight can happen with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe even November, and then they go from there. And I think that fight can happen.
Big Dre.
And that fight can happen with Wilder and AJ can happen in February of next year, or even not March, early. I'm just saying.
Do you think? Do you think so? That being said, are you still super confident that Deontay Wilder beats Anthony Joshua?
Don't know. No, I don't know. I'll tell you why. Anthony Joshua has shown that if he gets punched in the face too hard, bro, he'll want to fight. He showed that. But also he shows that he has showed different ways of fighting. So he showed Derek James, Frank Warren, whoever else he been in the ring with. Like he showed different styles, and he was able to adapt. And it looks like he utilizing all these styles. He's showing he can come in heavy, like a heavier heavyweight, as a lighter heavyweight. You know what I mean? He's showing different ways of boxing. So those things actually propel him to look like the favorite in the fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Wilder still has the equalizer. You know what I mean? Hands of stone. They there. And he can still capitalize. And like I said, that and Joshua has, Joshua has shown to be a little bit more timid when he gets popped in the chin real hard and he don't want to get in and fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going in there. Like, he's been rattled. So I think that's a possibility that's an up for grabs fight because we don't know what can happen. He said AJ ducked.
Yeah, I think AJ. I'm gonna be real with you. I think AJ knocks that boy out.
Listen, I think so, but again, but I think if I'm going to be non-biased to the fight, I think it can go either way. I think it depends on.
It 100%. When you're dealing with a puncher like Deontay Wilder, you can't never count him out. He's in there. He's in there with an equalizer that makes him a legitimate factor in the fight. But the way I saw it, I'm be honest with you, and I know people are going to start saying like, "Oh, but that's not the same people, right?" But I'm going to bring up Francis Ngannou to say that Francis Ngannou is able to deliver a lot of power. But what AJ showed me was that he was able to navigate. He was able to navigate that and become the puncher, become the person to be feared. I don't know how Deontay Wilder deals with that too much, is becoming the person hunted. Tyson Fury did do that to him, but he didn't give in to that. He didn't believe in that. He stayed in the paint. I think Anthony Joshua has the ability to make Deontay Wilder pay in a worse way than Tyson Fury was able to make Deontay pay.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I was over at Candyland. Nobody knows who Candyland is but us. When we was
Right.
talking about that conversation. And
Right.
I actually said that. I think Joe A was up on the channel, and I was agreeing with Joe A about that situation when I said I think AJ can beat Wilder. And that's when Wilder had just came off his fight against Alalshikh, I think, somewhere around there. I was like, yo, AJ still got it, bro. I think AJ can beat Wilder. And now I'm saying that I think if Wilder gets these 2 wins under his belt, that gives him some confidence, and that changes the trajectory of the fight, their opinion, the way they look at things. You know what I mean?
Right.
That gives him a little bit more confidence, Wilder, and that could change the whole way he goes into that fight. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Roscott said that AJ isn't as aggressive like he used to be. Man, he's intelligently aggressive now, and I just think that what you're looking at is a way more well calculated AJ, who's understanding his power. I think that relationship he has with Ben Davidson is huge, a huge part of this conversation. I think he's learning how to be poised and take his time and find his shots, and he's throwing his shots with bad intentions. He's becoming way more accurate with the way he throws his shots. He's setting his shots up. He's changing levels when he's setting up. He's going, he's working the body. He's coming up top. He's doing different things that he's gotten better. I actually believe he's actually gotten better. I believe this whole entire journey he's been on with losing to Usyk twice and, having those fights where they were kind of lackluster with Jermaine Franklin, and then, moving on. Who did he fight after Jermaine? He fought Helenius. He fought Helenius, Robert Helenius, put him to sleep, was very patient where people were like, yo, he looking like he was holding his shots back. I think he was more so acclimating to this new version of him who was like, yeah, I can punch hard, but I also want to learn how to put my punches together and set shots up. And he was doing that. He was leveling up. And then when he went into Ottawa, he got more comfortable. He got more comfortable, put it together, and was able to put Ottawa out there. And then when he fought Francis Ngannou, that was a huge fight for me because he did not allow that fight to be competitive. He knew, I'm getting this guy out of here. I'm not, and that's what it's all about, right? When I saw, not to segue or get off topic, but when I saw Devin Haney fight against Regis Prograis, one of the things that I saw in that fight that made me nervous for Devin Haney was his inability to pull the trigger when it was there for him. That killing instinct, I didn't see it in him. And AJ showed that, nah, bro, I got that in me, bro. When you're not supposed to be in here with me, I'm gonna get you the hell up out of here. You need to keep your hands up with me. I'm gonna put that work in. And he showed that with Francis Ngannou. That's what was supposed to happen with Francis Ngannou. Whereas with Tyson Fury was playing with his food, we saw what happened with him. He got sat on his pockets by Francis Ngannou. AJ didn't allow that to happen. He showed me that he understands, he can see what it is and what it's supposed to be, and he's gonna execute on that. Deontay Wilder, on the other side of the conversation, told me that he digressed against Joseph Parker. The killing instinct left him. He tried to become a boxer all of a sudden. He tried to do something in the ninth inning that did not get him to the big game. He did like what Mike Tyson said was the worst mistake you could ever do, right? He decided to leave the dance with the motherfucker who didn't bring him to the party. You know what I'm saying? He left the motherfucker who brought him to the party at the party. Like, dude was like, yo, where my date at? And Deontay was out there getting, you know what I mean? Getting violated in the parking lot by somebody who didn't pay for the limo, didn't buy him no flowers, didn't meet his parents, didn't, you know what I'm saying? Didn't do the work to get him to the party. Now he has to come back from that. Now Deontay has to show us that he has that in him right now. And today, if I got to go on what I see today and what I've seen up to this point, AJ sleeps that man. AJ sleeps that man, bro.
Okay. Hey, it's possible. Like I said, we have to wait and see. I think it's a strong possibility that happens. I do got AJ winning. But again, that's based on what I recently saw, because we only go by the last fights. We only go by the last fights. Because let me ask you a question. I'm glad Cheese just mentioned it. Because if we went by the Regis fight, let me just throw this out there. You're gonna put me in the back room after I say this. After with Devin, that dude was invincible at 140. Am I right? Nobody was touching him. And then we seen him fight Ryan. Though I thought he put out a good outing besides the knockdowns and the you know what I mean? Like when it comes to punch stats and stuff like that, and staying in the fight that way by being I don't even know if he was being a boxer. He's just fighting him. The dude was tiring himself out. But regardless, we see that portion of Devin, and then we're saying, there's no way he's top 5 for 40. See what I'm saying? So we go by the last thing we see in the ring, regardless. Right. So that's what I said. If Deontay Wilder gains some momentum, and he beats both these guys by a knockout, and he gains that momentum, and his head gets into the game, and he's like, yo, I'm the baddest man, I'm back, we got a good fight. Now AJ might be thinking about something. He'd be like, well, I got to watch out for this. That's what I'm telling you. That's the only way it works. Now, I agree with you. Like I said, I do have AJ winning. Freaking, I can see him in the channel too. He's like, nah, I got Wilder, but it's cool. I'm going against him right now, but it's cool. But you know what I mean? But that's how I can see it. At the end of the day, I can see that momentum changing and switching things up where it starts playing mind tricks on AJ. Yeah,
I agree with you. I can see that happening. And obviously, I'm interested in seeing how that fight looks. I mean, clearly, I think Anthony Joshua has the better resume as well. Fought the most dangerous fighters. With the Derek Chisoras and did he fight Derek? I'm sorry, I might be wrong about that, but fighting Dillian White. I think he fought Derek though, right? I think he fought Derek.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Joseph Parkers, obviously the Alexander Usyks, even Povetkin. You know what I mean? The fighters he fought were just more of a threat. He should be confident. I feel like he's confident right now. Now at that fight, who's AJ looking at? Is he looking at the Ergovich Dubois fight, or is he looking at the Deontay Wilder Zhilei Zhang fight?
Definitely going for Dubois. I mean, like I said, that'll cap out a fight to the end of the year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because this is summertime, so they can get, AJ's been fighting like 4 fights a year recently, right?
Right,
so he could probably get one in like September, and then another one in December, which could be the Wilder fight if Wilder wins in August, because he's got a short turnaround fight now too.
Right.
He wins, he's fighting again. You know what I mean? So he could drop. That's what I'm telling you. I think they're trying to pair these guys up. I think Turkey's trying to pair them up for the end of the year, if not early next year.
Right.
It just. I'm looking at the way everything's lining up.
Okay. So let me ask you this. We can segue out of this. You know what I mean? Good luck to all those gentlemen on that card, that 5-on-5 card. I think Bivens is going to win his fight. I don't even think anybody's asking questions about that. But we'll see how that turns out for him. But jumping into this card on June 15th. First of all, as far as Subriel Matias and Liam Paro is concerned, you think that's just lay down for Subriel, or you think Liam Paro is upset?
Hell yeah, I think it's a potential upset, and I'm not saying that because I think Subriel is soft. I just looked at the styles, and I know Liam Paro is capable of getting knocked out because he stays there in the pocket and fights, but he can box. The problem is he can box. He moves. He sticks and moves. You know what I mean?
Salute Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas in the building.
Salute Bruce Gas. Salute. But I also think that Subriel. I think Subriel, when he walks into the his problem is he likes to walk his opponents down. Like I said, his only issue is he gets flat-footed. Somebody that can stick and move like Liam Paro is going to be not only hard to hit, and a guy that boxes too. Like he's standing there and boxes. So he's susceptible to get caught, but I think he just has the capability of sticking and moving and keeping that fight alive and wearing down Subriel Matias. So I think that's an interesting fight. Really
I agree with you. I think Liam Paro is having some issues with his trainer, so I think he might be coming into the ring with a different trainer. Mm-hmm. So there's that intangible that's involved with that fight. But I think Liam Paro is an intelligent fighter. He's not somebody who throws it all to the wind. And I think to beat Subriel Matias, you have to be intelligent. You can't go up in there. You got to acknowledge who he is and also acknowledge the fact of what he isn't or what he hasn't shown you to be. And what he hasn't really shown to be is a boxer's boxer, right? He's somebody who can take the punishment, clearly, and he obviously can deliver the punishment. Liam Paro was able to. His last fight that I saw him in, I believe he was against the pretty boy, the Montana
Love. Yeah, Montana Love.
And Montana Love's a slick boxer. You know what I'm saying? Wants to be it's probably a better boxer. You know what I'm saying than Liam Paro. Liam was able to cut that ring off, put him in a bad position, and ultimately, you know what I'm saying, show his slickness, show his boxing pedigree in that fight. Right. So if he brings that into this fight with Subriel Matias, I see a potential what a Tiafimo Subriel might have looked like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who got the pop, right? He's got the pop with his hands. He's got enough, but at the same time, slick enough to stay out of bad melees with Subriel Matias. What do you think? Am I reaching?
I mean, I wouldn't use that. No, I mean, it's pretty decent. That's a good analogy, I guess, a comparison. But I mean, I wouldn't have used T.O., but I like how you're going with that. Like that makes a lot. That could be in a sense of making sense, basically. Like that can make a lot of sense. I just don't think he moves like T.O. I don't think he leads with these jabs and these, you know what I mean, like these weird hooks and stuff like that. But I think his footwork and his way to counter is very key in this fight. And I think he showed with Montana Love that he counters well. And he can lay you out with those counters. Like he literally he'll go back and forth with you if he has to, but he moves and takes less punishment as he's getting hit. And he took some shots in that Montana Love fight, believe it or not.
100%.
On top of that. So anything's possible. I just think that a lot of people are overlooking Liam Paro that don't really watch him or don't know who he is. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that when he became the number one, and I think to the WBC became because it was a mandatory. Then I think there was an interim. I think he became an interim or something like that, or he became like one of the number one fighters for the WBC at that time. I was like, yo, this guy's dangerous, bro. Like he could possibly beat Devin. Like for real. Like he showed something to me to say that. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, he's dangerous. But we'll see. I mean, I think he could beat a lot of these fighters. I think he's very dangerous as a fighter. So, I mean, I'm not going to say he will beat Devin. So let's not get it twisted. I said it's a possibility that at that time I was looking at the fight, it's a possibility that he can. I mean, what I've seen in the ring, that just looked like he was a dangerous fighter, and he knows how to put, like I said, combos together, counters, footwork, movement, parrying, jabbing, catching and countering. Like, he's a good boxer, bro. Gotta get that dude, show the dude some respect. And I think he can, definitely think he can give Subriel Matias a run for his money.
No doubt. Shout out Cheese. She said, oh, Claymore box rec track and visits. I just got the sign up thing too. I told you I was going to say some ignorant shit like never met an Aussie that can fight, but no. Shout out to the Aussies, man. Tim Zoo's representing for them, and I think Liam Paro's right up in there. One of those guys coming out of that plate, that side of the
he can box, bro.
The tracks that can really box. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think that fight is a sleeper. People are sleeping on Liam Paro. Don't be shocked if you see an upset in that fight. Boxing is great. Boxing is a beautiful sport for a reason. Anybody can win a fight. The best version. I'm gonna tell you right now, Subriel Matias is also feeling himself a lot, bro. When he's talking, he's very arrogant. He's very confident, and confidence is good, but that shit has to be, you know what I mean? It's checks and balances, you know what I'm saying? I hope you're doing the work. I hope you're confident off the work you're doing to get ready for this fight. You're not confident off the work you've done or the status that you've gotten. These boxers come from humble beginnings, man. Subriel Matias came from some gangster shit, you know what I'm saying, in Puerto Rico. And, he's not promised to be. He doesn't fight as if he's the most sharpest pencil in the pack. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't fight that way. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you get into these big fights, you need to be sharp. You need to be the sharp. Sometimes in the fight you're in, you need to be the sharpest pencil in the ring. And he doesn't show that he brings that intangible to it. So if Liam can be disciplined and be the smarter fighter in the ring, be the slicker fighter in the ring, you can see his hand raised after 12 rounds.
Or with a knockout.
Or with a knockout.
Subriel can walk right into something.
Right.
Like Montana Love did.
And let me tell you guys something else about Subriel Matias. Everybody thinks that he has this fucking granite chin, right? Because he takes so much punishment. Let me tell you, the shots that you see coming, they always make you look like you can take shots. But the shots you don't see coming, those be the ones that sit you on your pockets, bro, and have you looking crazy. Subriel Matias got stopped before, guys. Let's not forget that. And the guy who beat him wasn't a puncher. The guy who did it to him was not a puncher. You can look him up. I can't remember what his name is, but he wasn't a puncher. You heard? Mm-hmm. So don't think because you've seen him get punched like a motherfucker because he sits there and he's anticipating being punched. He's allowing himself to get punched. He's bracing for the punch because he's trying to tire you out or trying to walk you into something. That's not like that shot that just hit you because it was set up and you didn't think it was going to connect with you, and it did. Liam Paro got power that can make the difference. He got that power. He's not the most hardest puncher in that division, but he ain't nowhere near the softest. So we're going to see what that fight looks like. I'm leaning towards I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm leaning towards Subriel. I am leaning towards Subriel to win that fight. But I am leaning towards him. I've seen him do a lot. And I'm not too sure if Liam is going to stay disciplined 12 rounds. If he's going to stay disciplined. And something about punching somebody, is he going to understand that he's being allowed to punch him, or is he going to start feeling overconfident and start engaging in melees, believing that he's winning the melees and not really like, I know what you're doing, bro. I know how you do already. So I'm going to win these rounds, but I'm not going to over commit to meleeing with you. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how that looks.
Makes sense. Here's the thing. So if you take that exactly how you see, and you like Liam Paro, Subriel Matias, I'm going with Liam Paro. I'm just going to Matter of fact, I don't bet, but I'm about to bet it. I'm about to bet a buck on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I ain't rich like some people to put 3,000 in a bet, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
Shout out to
I think Liam Pearl definitely has the opportunity to beat Subriel Matias, and it shows. I'm telling you, styles make fights, and I think this is a bad matchup for Subriel Matias. Overconfident, and I think he walks into something bad, just like Montana Love did. We might even see him drop in like 5th or 6th round.
Okay. I'm liking the way that sounds, man. I can see it happening too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can see it happening. Like I said, I'm leaning. I'm not over like. I don't think Subriel's just gonna run through him, but I am gonna put it on Subriel's. You know, he's shown that he's tough, and his record speaks for itself, and he is the champion too.
Right.
So,
stop the cap, Ray. Anyway, I'm going with Subriel Matias.
Somebody. We'll see what happens, man.
We'll see. Times to change everything, but we'll see. I think I just need to see Matias' footwork, man. Like he's so flat-footed when he sits down, when he starts throwing these hard punches, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a problem because he can't move. You just rock him, sock him at that point. You can't move, bro. And you got somebody that can move, bro. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing right there. So we'll have to see.
No doubt. So also, I mean, we can do it all night. You see how much boxing is going on in the world, guys, by the way? Shout out to my co-host. Shout out to everybody who's in here, who's really not jacking the whole entire Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney is a weight bully. All this bullshit that is cool, but all this boxing going on. How do you guys not talking about this shit?
Did you know, just to say something stupid, but did you know that because of Snack and Balco is the same, and Victor Conti's going to jail again?
Yeah, bro, it's just
stupid. Sorry.
The whole Victor Conti, the way Victor Conti's been involved in this situation, as far as what people have been bringing him in, it's ridiculous, bro. That man has nothing to do with this shit, bro. Like,
bro,
I mean,
I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. Victor climbed into the window and he put Osterine in his drink. And
like Anonymous said, I ain't gonna lie, I'm real tired of the Ryan and Haney convo. It is ridiculous, bro.
Bro, it is so stupid, bro. I'm just like
going way too far, bro.
It's like I want to talk about it and comment on stuff. I just leave it alone because I just think that people are just such low. Like, it's wrong. It's wrong. You didn't do this for any other fighter. Why are you doing this now? That's my point. Why was it a problem when Tank said 2 years ago that Ryan was on steroids? That nobody believed him.
Because it don't got nothing to do with that. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm just saying that's one thing. I'm just saying let's look. Well, if we're going to move the needle on Devin, let's move the needle over here too. You know what it is? Tank loyalists. No disrespect to Tank loyalists, but Tank loyalists heard Tank say that Ryan didn't cheat. Guess what? Guess what happened? Ryan didn't cheat. Think about it. It started with Tank saying that he didn't cheat. And then everybody ran with that. No matter what happens, it just stays right there. Tank can say tomorrow that Ryan was in a red balloon and his Corvette drove off the planet. And they'd be like, yo, his Corvette drove off the planet because Tank said so. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, bro, but that's what it is. Anybody here don't believe me. You know what I mean? I think everybody know what I'm talking about. Like, yo, it's crazy. And now it's just like, these people are bro. It's a fandom. It's a fandom. Candyland of fandoms.
I think it's a fandom, but I think it's also a disingenuine content creation space.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a content creation space that understands the goldfish mentality, casual fan base that's out there, and they take opportunities like this where. I think like the content creation space in boxing, you have people who really love boxing, who know about boxing, but you also have a bunch of people who are trying not to work, who want to do this for a living, who want to, you know what I'm saying? Who want to make money from this. And they also have a responsibility to capture and hold the attention. Yeah. That if they have a responsibility to capture and keep the attention of the people in the chat for super chats and things of that nature. And what you're seeing is, although they know boxing, they understand that the people who they're talking to a lot of them don't know boxing, and they find opportunities like this to get those people feeling like they're actually in the algorithm of boxing, and they're not, right? Like they like knowing what they're talking about, but they don't like learning more so they can know what they're talking about on a broader spectrum, right? So when we're having conversations about Nick Ball and Raymond Ford, or we're having conversations about Ergovich and Daniel Dubois, or Subriel and Liam Paro, we're talking about, you know, Tyson Fury rematching Usyk, or, you know, all the things that we talk about. They don't know. They don't know about that like that, and the content creators know that, so they want to keep. They have a responsibility to be content creators. They're content creators first, and then they're putting content creation first and then boxing.
Man, that's funny. Didn't somebody that's like putting the belts first over? I mean, the money over the belts, right?
To a degree, yes.
Darn, that's so funny.
You know, and that's what's happening right now. So there's a disingenuine content creation space happening right now where people aren't being true, and they're not saying, "Nah, bro, that don't even deserve that much attention. If that man cheated, he gonna get what he gets." You know, people who bring up, when you're talking about this situation, who bring up Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Devin Haney when he has a fight lined up with Frank Martin. Why aren't you talking about him fighting Frank Martin? Why are you still talking about him beating up Devin Haney when Devin Haney's at 140 pounds, going to be looking to fight Sandor Martin, nowhere near not even negotiations to fight with Tank Davis? Why aren't you talking about Tank Davis versus Frank Martin? Why aren't you talking about David Benavidez versus Bosnick? Why aren't you talking about, you know what I'm saying? Why aren't you talking about Deontay Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang? Why aren't you talking about all these other fights going on? And like I said earlier, people like to talk what they know. They feel uncomfortable talking about what they don't know about. Don't let that go over your head.
Oh, no. I got him. Not me. I'm saying, no. Don't let that go over your head. But yeah, for real, you're 100% right. And that's the issue. And like I said, I dare somebody go up on one of these channels tomorrow and mention one of these things that we talked about. And mention it like, yo, who you got in this? Yo, who's the 5-for-5 fighters? And tell them, don't Google it. Like, straight off the gate. Just like Clay just dropped all the fights and won. Yo, who you got in the 5-for-5? Who you think is going to be the most exciting fight out of the 5-for-5 fights? Guarantee they'll be like, oh, Wilder.
Yeah, they're not. Look, I'm telling you, and look, I got respect for the people I got respect for, and they know who they are, right? And I do, you know what I'm saying? I understand, but that doesn't, nobody's above reproach when it comes to this topic, because there's a lot of fuel being added to the casual fan mentality, the casual fan base mentality. You guys have opportunity to educate these fans, to take these fans to level them up, to actually get them into boxing. Right. Fans who aren't into boxing, who are just into the casual surface level. So you have an opportunity to steer the narrative, get them into boxing, and you're choosing to purposefully take advantage of people who just ain't really there, and you're feeding like, yeah, Devin Haney was a weight cheat. Yeah, Ryan Garcia is innocent, or Ryan Garcia, we don't know that, or Victor Conte is. Yeah.
Oh, Floyd did it.
There's a choice that could be made. You know what I'm saying?
It's all Floyd's fault. It's Floyd's fault. Oh, the aliens did it.
You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we can't even get a conversation about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul because they won't even take that seriously. Like,
right. I'd rather talk about Mike Tyson and fucking Jake Paul. We could talk about that. By the way, have you seen Mike Tyson? Mike looking like he gonna beat the. Mike gonna fuck Jake Paul up. God, yo, I'm about to fuck Jake Paul up, bro. Mike about to fuck Jake Paul up, bro. Word,
bro. It's crazy though. It's crazy.
Right, Battlefield. 100%, man. 100% Battlefield. Right. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
That's what we keep saying. And look, shout out to all the people that's trying to do something, but yo, let's keep it 100. We talking about the same thing. I don't care about what Shakur and Tate fighting on Twitter about. I don't care about that. Like, look, I get it. It's interesting to a degree because it's news and boxing, and it's only building a fight for later. But that fight's not now. They have fights lined up in front of them. Mm-hmm. Why are we talking about them fighting each other? None of that makes sense. None of that, everything Clay said, none of that's going to help what's happening then. One is either going to take you off topic for your fight that you have, and you're going to be legitimately not paying attention.
You think Jake is gonna stop Mike? You crazy, bro. You crazy. He ain't stopping Mike, bro. If Jake stops Mike, Jake gonna be in danger out here, bro. There's people out here who feel some kind of way about Mike, bro. He better not. How about that? He better not stop Mike.
I bet you'd be a lot of bread that Mike getting if you stop him.
You better not stop him.
I think
it was Andre Durrell who said if he hurt Mike, he won't fight Jake next. He's like, straight up, I'm gonna fuck you up because of how old he is. Yeah, teach the HVAC issues, but listen, man, I told you guys already. I said this on Blue Blood's channel like 2 months ago when Blue was still doing the night shows with A-Side and all those guys. And I said, Mike Tyson is genetically predispositioned for an opportunity like this. When you talk about a 57-year-old guy who can move like Mike Tyson, punch like Mike Tyson, it's anybody else, the age would be a big factor. I'm not saying it's not a big factor, but I'm saying Mike genetics just he's just dispositioned to do this. Look how he is in that ring. Look how he is with them pads. He's still him, and he's smoking weed and eating shrooms and doing all that shit, and he's still moving like that.
Right.
Jake ain't ready to fight nobody like that. Jake ain't gotten to the ring with nobody who brings this level of pedigree to the ring.
You know what's crazy? On top of that, Clay, when you see him move, has he lost a step since he's been in the ring? Absolutely not. And when he's hitting those pads, does he look like he's Mike Tyson to you?
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes.
So what are we talking about here? You talking about Jake Paul, who made the size of the gloves go up, was considering putting headgear on, was considering making it, what is he, like 230 pounds right now? Like,
I'm gonna tell you. I wanted to answer something you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
Did Mike Tyson lose a step? I'm sure he's lost some of his step. I'm gonna acknowledge he's 57 years old. He's not 24-year-old Mike Tyson. That's not who he is. I'm not gonna say he is, but who he is right now is way more than Jake Paul has ever faced in his life. He's still that many levels higher than Jake Paul. He's car lengths ahead of fucking Jake Paul. Nowhere near the same level of fighter as Mike Tyson is, bro. It's just a whole nother game plan. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Cashman man said Mike Tyson might be cooked. I'm telling you guys.
He better send him a cook package. That's what he better send him, because other than that, Mike looks serious, bro. I'm telling you.
I agree with you, Cheech. They're making it 2-minute rounds. They're not making it 3-minute rounds. Listen, bro. Right. That's why I said Mike is not 24-year-old Mike. But yeah, but just like you just said, 2-minute rounds, bro. They're making it to where Mike don't gotta be Mike who was 24 years old. Mike don't gotta be the 24-year-old Mike. Mike just need to be like a 45-year-old Mike.
Mm-hmm. Which I think he is.
You know what I'm saying?
Mike is definitely in the shape. Yeah, he's definitely in the shape of like a 45-year-old. Like, he's got 10 years off his life shape-wise. Now, how's his mental and all that? That's another thing. Because you know what's going to happen. They're going to take him off that prednisone, so his mind he's going to be crazy.
Mike going to do that dude dirty, bro.
He's going to break that dude's jaw.
You're going to see Jake Paul do the stanky leg, bro. He's going to be walking looking crazy. You might see him do the stanky leg, and you might see Mike pull back a little bit like, let me not do him like that. And just take the win, maybe. But I don't think so.
You might give him a hug, like, I'm the new Mike Tyson.
Let me tell you the worst thing Jake Paul could do to Mike Tyson. Punch him too hard. Yeah. Punch that man too hard, he's going to hit that switch in that man's head, bro. He's going to forget that he's fighting Jake Paul.
Right.
He's going to be like, Holyfield? This is the get back? This is the get back? So, yeah, man, he hasn't aged like Holyfield. He didn't age like Riddick Bowe. He didn't age like, you know what I'm saying, like James Toney. He hasn't aged like them dudes, bro. He's aged like Mike has aged very well, bro.
Like he's doing prison sit-ups and push-ups all day.
Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
So we'll see where he's gonna have PTSD flashbacks. Start wailing that kid. You better believe it, Jake.
Right.
He start getting that momentum going. Okay, I understand your point, and I support Mike Tyson Wells, but we have to consider Mike Tyson 57 years old. Gas tank is what I'm worried about. I agree with you, Beast. We have to take it into consideration, and there is a chance that we see an aged, somebody who shouldn't have been in that ring that night. It's possible. It's possible that he looks good in the first round, and towards the second, third round, he just gasses out, and he's just not who we thought he was going to be, and that's going to be a horrible thing for us to see.
I can see
but
that.
Let me tell you, Mike Tyson is, he has to show me that in order for me to believe he's going to be that. He has to show me he's gas. He has to show me. I have no reason to believe that shit without seeing it. It's just the same thing with Jake Paul. If he's better than Mike Tyson, he's gonna have to show me on that night, bro. And I will know after he does it. But I will not go into that fight thinking Jake Paul is doing something to Mike Tyson, bro.
G. Pitt said he's gonna get him within 3 rounds. See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
I think within the first 4, inside that first 4 rounds. Yep.
Right, and look, Roy Jones was worried about that after that liver shot that Mike get him with. Roy stayed away from that whole exhibition.
Yeah, and I heard it was like a predetermined rule that they weren't going to hit each other hard in the head. You feel what I'm saying? So Mike didn't even put the fucking pause on him. Mike was fighting him restricted, very like reserved, like I'm not going to do you crazy. We're not going to do each other crazy. He might do Jake crazy, bro. Jake hit him. And I'm telling you, Mike, don't forget, Mike is a mean, bad person in the ring. He's a mean, horrible person in the ring. He's mean. Yeah. He got that switch clicked off in his head because you hit him. Listen, bro, he going on autopilot, bro. He going DEFCON. You're going to see that boy's eyes turn red, bro.
You're going to get the flashback. You're going to get that little patch right here in the middle again. Remember, he used to have the cut. Listen. It wasn't a part. It was just a patch. And
then this is also going on his record.
Right.
This is a real fight. It's going on their record. So, Mike got some legacy on the table, too, not to sit there and let a YouTuber beat him up. You know what I'm saying? Right. He ain't trying to go out like that either. So
I can see him picking him up for the corner like Peter McNeely. We picked up Peter.
M. Banks, unfiltered, salute. He said Mike will bite your ears if need be. LOL. Listen, Mike cut from a different cloth, bro. By any means necessary, bro. That's what Mike's cut from. He's cut from that type of shit. I keep sleeping on that man if y'all want to. You know what I mean?
Let's not have this fight happen. Come on. I'm sorry I had to hit you like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to do you like that. Jake, why'd you hit me like that? I thought we agreed not to. Yeah.
Here I come, Jake.
Yeah, I can see it now. Sorry. Knockout.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Salute to everybody in here, yo. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We're almost there. We're trying to hit that 1,000 mile mark. When we hit that mark, we do have a huge cash giveaway that we're doing. So help us get there. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed, make sure you definitely done that. Appreciate you guys.
Word up.
What else is going on in boxing? So much is going on in boxing. I mean, obviously you got a lot of people are saying don't sleep on Vosnik against David Benavidez, man.
I'm thinking the same thing. I told you that though. I said he's been fighting.
I'm hoping so, Charles. I think we check all the boxes. I'm hoping so. Super chats at 1K, man. That's a hope. If there's a box that we haven't checked, we'll find out then. There's all types of requirements to meet. I think we're checking all the boxes, so we'll see. Very likely, I would say that. Very likely.
But no, you're right. I was thinking that same thing because I think we talked about this too. I think that's a dangerous fight for him. Because remember, he's moving up in a division he never fought. Even though he's like a larger super middleweight fighter, going up to light heavyweight changes his whole way he fights these guys. You know what I mean? Now you're not using hands of fury to punch people. You know what I mean? Or fist of fury, whatever you want to call it. Now you got a box. Now you really got a box. Now you got to keep this guy away. In order to get this knockout, you better hope this dude ain't ready to dance, bro. Because if he hit like the last dude, what's his name? Clatchy. Remember we was talking about him, bro?
Yes, sir.
That could be a long night. Be a long night for David, and him moving up a weight too, bro. We're talking about a whole different thing.
Yeah. I think you got somebody who's. I think Vosnik is taller than David Benavidez. It looks like he's taller than him. It looks like he's just a bigger guy in general. It looks like he's just a bigger guy. David Benavidez is used to, I don't want to call him a weight bully, but I'm going to say he is used to being that bigger guy in the ring who can absorb a little bit more punishment, overwhelm people. But he's also, the high punch output guy, fast hands, a lot of combination punching. So he knows how to do that as well. He knows how to move. He's a great boxer. You know what I'm saying? I heard he was in there with Dimitri Bivol sparring, and I heard he had a real good showing. That a lot of people feel like he beat Dimitri Bivol in that sparring session. So his IQ and his pedigree is definitely there. But that weight that he's used to having, that advantage, let's be honest and say it is for let's say it for what it is. That advantage he's used to having against all the fighters in that 168-pound weight class division, he ain't gonna have it in this ring with Vosnik. He's gonna have to really outbox his dude. And Vosnik is a Eastern European good boxer. These Eastern Europeans box well.
Right.
So David's gonna have to show improve. He's gonna have to show improve. And if he does show improve, he's gonna be who everybody thought he was. Right. And if he doesn't show improve, everybody's gonna, they're gonna say, yeah, he was just weight bullying. That's the reason why he was looking like that. He really wasn't. He said he was. So I see you yawning.
I am. Yeah, I think David Morrell is actually better at this division than David Benavidez. I think at light heavyweight. I believe
David Morrell's on the August 3rd card. Right, fighting too, but he's fighting another Eastern European as well. So
I think he shows you something different at light heavyweight than Benavidez does.
Right.
Like I really believe that. So.
No doubt. Zerto said the same thing. He got the best of Bivol in sparring. Bivol unanimous decision him. Yeah. I agree with you, Teach, man. I agree with you, man. She said the August 3rd card can't wait. No doubt. That August 3rd card, man. The only thing he's missing is Deontay, Jared Anderson. That's all it's missing right now. That's the only one. That's the only one, man, that's gonna make it out of here. You know what I'm saying? But everything else on that card is epic, man. Big fights, man. Rayo and Pitbull, crazy. We'll talk about that. Oh, Cheese, you out? All right, brother. Thanks for showing up.
We almost done too.
Yeah, and I'll let Blue know that you in good health, man. He was wondering where you was at. And we're gonna link up tomorrow, guys. We got so many other things to talk about. We can do this all night. We love this sport. Let's put boxing first. No boxer above the sport. And anything you want to send them home with?
Yeah, like I said, go on your favorite YouTube channel in the daytime. Ask them some boxing questions. See what they come up with. And when they start talking about Devin and Ryan, just see what else they got on their table. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That'll help you out. So, but all right, let me get out of here, yo. I just wish everybody a good evening. You know what I mean? If you're out west, you know what I mean? Go enjoy yourself, get your dinner on, pause. You know what I mean? Everybody over here.
Yeah, salute to everybody in the building, man. Thank you for showing up, man. Remember, hit the like, hit the thumbs up if you haven't done it yet. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. And see you guys tomorrow. Echo. Salute, Echo. Salute.
All right. Peace out, everyone. Peace out.
Elevate, yeah. They hate when you elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate.
They hate when you elevate. The stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, that's why I can levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. The stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, that's why I can levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight.